Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the DC Universe, New History of DC, Dakota incident has gone in to second print. That news was just revealed to us moments before hitting live. We're in distribution. You can't hear me? You're muted. You see the mute next to your name? Hi, I'm Chillmonger, and I'm elated, whether he can hear me or not. I hope you guys can all hear me. But, Lawrence, let me know if you can hear me or not. But we have done a monumental thing. We have forced DC Comics to print new comic books. There will be a brand new cover also, but they're going to make more of these available at the shops. Thank you for letting me know about that, Lawrence. Appreciate you. So that is monumental news. All of the writing talent and the artists who are part of this, making the rounds, doing the advertising, trying to let people know about the book, did a phenomenal job of doing it. And it feels hopeful. Sometimes I'll say something like, yo, pick up the book, we got to read on it. And I'm telling you, and I'm feeding you potential. The potential was met. Now, I'm telling you, go get that second printing, not based off of potential, but based off of the results. If all of your shops are going to order, okay, well, 3 customers this week told me they wanted the book and I couldn't get them the book. So I'm going to get maybe 5 comic books. Make sure that those 3 customers will be satisfied, but we don't leave 2 on the shelf that rot and aren't picked up a month later. And we don't want that. We don't want that at all. So my marching orders for everyone who's listening is maybe if you did get your book already, allow 1 week to pass, allow everyone to get their book, allow them to get that second printing. But, well, you could also pull it. Actually, never mind. If you just pre-order the comic book, it'll be in your pull box and won't even be on the shelf. So, sale made. But if it's on the shelf, if a considerable amount of time passes and you see like 8, 9 on the shelf and you're like, yo, this isn't looking good. Maybe my shop won't take the risk and buy so many statics next time. Buy that comic book. So let everyone get, everyone who wants the comic book, let them get it. But if it's still there after 2, 3, 4 weeks, collect that comic book. Give it to your best friend's daughter's sons, your daughter's sons. Give it to a family member. Give it to your next door neighbor. You work out of school, give it to the students. Make sure that we purchase this comic book so it doesn't collect dust on the shelves. We have done enough by forcing the second prints. We've done a lot of this also. Now is the time where we do the purchasing and we can get out of this mess. And if I do dare say, this was actually an entertaining comic book to read. That looked nice. They had this character, Beacon, who is the son of Rocket. Sorry, I went the wrong way. We've got this character who just debuted, so that's the first appearance, I guess, of Beacon in his superhero. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he appeared in the Static and Batman Beyond, maybe. But Beacon is someone who first, what do you call them? Speculator collectors, maybe they'd be interested in. Marcus, are you a speculator? Are you a reader? What's your comic book status?
I'm a reader. I got some. I kind of dipped my toe back into some books around Christmas time. They were a gift. So, I've been Avengers adjacent and trying to keep track of what's going on with Black Panther, but I'm not pulling all the books right now. But I am going to get my the Dakota book you're talking about right now, the retelling. I'm going
the Black Panther currently is the Black Panther book currently. All he's doing is fighting people who are Black Panther-ish type characters. Is bizarre. Afro Sci-Fi Zian Comic says, "Greetings, Chillmonger. It's absolutely superb. It was nice to see Milestone characters in the DC universe again, like when Dwayne McDuffie was just writing Justice League of America. That's right. We got to see Superman show up and Captain Atom also showing up as well, having it going toe-to-toe with Icon. This thing was epic. We got to see Amanda Waller pull up. And since this took place when Lex Luthor was president, most of the comic takes place like 3, 4, 5 years ago when Luthor was president in their world. Now Static gets to be older. The inclusion of Superman, and then even when he showed up, the characters were like, whoa, Superman's here. Like they were kind of surprised to see him, which says something in itself. in and of itself. I want to go to that page specifically when Superman shows up and Wonder Woman show up too. They're like, whoa, Superman, this thing had it all, man. Batman was down there also.
That's dope.
Static looked nice. Every page Static looks nice, no matter who the artist was.
So it sounds like a success. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there was reasonable amount of traffic on it online outside of all the other news of things happening in the world. Sounds like the sales are going good if we're getting the second printing. So I like it. And just like the writer of this book, remind me his name, who's kind of started this whole thing.
Joe Illidge.
There you go, Joe Illidge. Just like he said, this is how you prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt to these, not just the publishers, but the studios and the people who wield these IPs on what will and won't be successful, right? Can you extrapolate some bit of data that they can't deny to as your proof? Because you're just not going to get it off a GP. So I like this not only for the Dakota City characters, but I also like it in general for Static, because anything that's going on positively in the media for a character like that is a good sign. It's kind of like all press is good press as long as we're not talking about burying the character. So
should I go in the penalty box right now? Battery says no spoilers. Chill, mine is in the mail. It's been a week.
Well, I hope that wasn't a huge part of the. Well, it probably is, but whatever. Hey, so real quick, I know this is a little off topic, but Wolverine is taking me there. That was real. The social media back and forth with Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill, was that a real thing?
I'm not even aware of it. My social media has been Static, and then it's been Iran,
right? Yeah. So apparently, they were arguing about Rhea Ripley always being, in creative's office, basically being a teacher's pet. I don't know. It was a quick little back and forth, I think, on Instagram, but I didn't think it was real. I thought that was pub for obviously the WrestleMania match. I didn't think that was actual beef, but the way that people are talking about it now, it's like they were actually arguing.
Yeah, I don't think it's real. This is definitely something, because it would be unprofessional to air out your dirty laundry. So I wouldn't put that on Rhea and Jade. If they're doing a back and forth so publicly, it's to make you believe they hate each other for the show.
For sure. Except because Rhea also didn't deserve to be in
She didn't deserve? When
I
her
mean,
music hits, this is my brutality, I hear her deserve it.
I do Rhea Ripley's entrance with my son every time she pops out. She's big. I think the calculus was, all right, the belts aren't where they are right now, or they're not where we want them to be. So we'll use the most over people we got to put them where they need to be, I think was the calculus. So I don't think that spells doom for Jade fans, but I just thought that was interesting, because I clearly thought it was just some shit, like some shit to add towards the match, and a lot of people are taking it serious. So
okay, yeah, we always do a little wrestling lingo, wrestling talk, a little bit of that,
just a little bit.
It's not Pantheon without it, until Darius comes in here with his Star Wars and all of his
wrestling. Y'all talking about wrestling?
We am I done talking Static? No, a second printing is important. We did our thing. I actually watched a video back from like January where we all said, let's get this book. It'll be big. The shops are going to order low, and then they're not going to have enough. So everything happened the way, the best case scenario where the shops ordered low, but we got a second printing out of it. Do your due, man. Do what you got to do and go to the shop and get it. Tell your stores that if you order the second printing of this book, I will be in the shop to collect it. Put it aside for me. Put it on my pull box, my pull list, my pull. Just say the word pull, and they'll know what you mean. You're subscribing to it, and they'll guarantee it. Even if all of the shelves are empty, they're not going to remove it from the pull box and say, "Oh, look, Adam didn't come yet, so I'm gonna put it on the shelf now. And then
If you leave it there for 3 months, it'll end up in somebody else's hands.
For 3 months, I've never left my box for 3 months. But like, if you go on a
You
vacation,
never
you
let
know,
a monster stack build up there and just get everything at one time.
They I've seen that before, but I mean, every shop is different. But the one where I saw it, I asked why is that so big, and they're like, oh, that guy comes every now and again, but he's reliable, so they let it go.
Yeah, if they know you're coming to get it, they'll hold it for a while. But I've had it where I'll walk in, I've come in multiple weeks asking if the book is yet. Is the book here yet? Is the book here yet? Because they'll order it for you. And if it's not, sometimes they'll be like, all right, well, hold on, let me see. Because I mean, these been sitting here for a while. I don't know if they're coming to get them or not. And they'll take a peek at some of maybe their less consistent pullers. So don't just leave it there. Go get your shit.
At that if you've left your comic books and you haven't picked them up. But I'd be mad at that if it was like only 2 weeks late. Like I told you, I'll get it.
No. It's not soon. You can't come within the same month asking to get that book out of somebody's pools. But if it's been a while, if you're looking for back issues, especially if they've already got one order for you, so they can easily just replace it, you know. Calling what up, Stamina.
The more we know, the better off we are with the education. When it comes to
conquest, you happy now? Hell yeah, I'm happy. Yes, sir. Can't wait till we talk about that one. I don't even know why it's even up in the air about what they're going to do with it. Let's see, limited series, television show, or trilogy movie. What kind of question is that? Trilogy. Give me the trilogy on the silver screen. For sure, excited. T. Robinson, what up? I didn't even tell y'all to bust down, Pantheonas. Was having a little bit of audio issues. Laptop didn't want to work.
Audio down.
For sure. So the static, well, not even just static. Like, did you feel like the issue presented anybody else in you know, having an ongoing spinning out of this? No,
this was his book. Battery, cool. Turn your head. This was his book. When I saw it to turn to this page, and Dude Travels Back. Sorry, wrong side here. And when I see, oh my God, Virgil Hawkins is like way older now. When I saw that, I said, this is a significant progression of the character. Time actually passed. Mm-hmm. That's why Luthor was president, because this was years ago for the beginning of the story. And now Static is much older, college age. I don't know, 22 years old. I put out a poll on my Twitter. Most people say he's 22 years old. It's the man. That's him right there.
Yeah, it's an older Static.
Just like John Boyega told Brian from Spoiler Kings.
Dope. Really dope. What's on the docket? Dakota X incident, DC So White, Game of Thrones film, Lanterns, The Boys.
You know what DC So White is?
I don't.
We're going to go through the website here. The parts I agree with, parts I don't. But overall, the intention of what the content creators who launched this campaign is something I agree with, or I respect enough to cover here. Support the movement by using the hashtag DCSoWhite. Look, they even got the hashtag right with lowercase letters and lowercase letters at the ending of new words. So since DC Comics published an ongoing, it's been 1,115 days since DC Comics published an ongoing comic for a black character in their mainline continuity. And that's I Am Batman 18. Initially, like, look, guys, this isn't disagreement. This is just, even the one that happened 1,115 days ago was still a secondary character, a black version of a white thing. It was like, damn, that's
Lucius.
Yeah,
I heard people were pretty excited about that book, though. I did hear people talking about it a lot.
Okay, but I don't get excited for secondary or black version of a white thing.
We don't gotta have it. We don't have it. Yep, I got you.
Someone says, but what about Absolute Green Lantern? It's not mainline continuity, of course. Mini and limited series versus ongoing. A mini series or limited series is classified as a comic series with a predetermined endpoint, whether it be 3, 5, 6, or 12 issues. If it has predetermined endpoint and is not going to continue as an ongoing with room for new story arcs and potential for new creative teams to take over, it is not an ongoing series. Now, here's the best part. Sorry, Marcus?
No, I said facts.
Here's a list of every mainline solo Black miniseries DC has published since 2000. Not going to read them all, but they've got a few over there of minis. The most recent one was Mr. Terrific Year 1. We had 6 issues of that. I made sure to get each 6 issue. I even bought the trade paperback. I was showing it off on Dre Mac's show the last week when I was with him. So Black Lightning and Mr. Terrific were our 2025 Black miniseries. I would like to say I tracked these things with the best of my knowledge. The final issue of each of these books, Mr. Terrific and Black Lightning, it's ranked outside of the top 200 sellers of the month that they came out. It performed poorly. Black comics don't sell. This is a misleading statement. While DC Comics can point to the sales charts and say this book didn't sell well, they orchestrated the factors that led to its poor sales. This isn't just an issue that affects Black characters, but all marginalized characters. These factors are lack of discourse of how sales work, absolutely. Lack of promotion, 100%. And then digital. DC and subsequently other publishers do not value digital sales. Blah, 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 blah. And then there's the trade paperback collected. DC has a repeated pattern of canceling books and ongoings or miniseries with the potential for more, like Black Lightning, before they can get to trade. Trade paperback collection editions are an easier way for fans to purchase stories and are seen as a larger form of entertainment compared to single issues. Unless they're pre-ordered, their sales are not tracked. A lot of information right there. And like that, I agree with so much. Yeah, we could say they don't sell. Yeah. Did DC ever put the effort in to make it sell? Nope, that hasn't happened either.
No, no, and it's kind of like a preemptive excuse, right, for your performance. Why do we need to talk about whether or not you're actually putting in the effort of pushing Black characters if Black characters just don't sell? Then the argument about how often and how you go about using those characters in a quote unquote push goes out of the window. We don't even have to discuss that because we're starting from the premise that they don't sell at all. And so you're correct. There's a lot of gems in that article. And then also about the pre-orders and them not being able to track whether or not there's actual enthusiasm for the book. Just once again, encouraging people to, if you see a book, pick up them gaudy ass books of previews that they just wanting to use as doorstops. You might just find you a book in there that you can get excited about and add to the list.
Yeah, every one of these comic books. So this is issue 4, issue 5 and 6. They all have deadlines of when it's too late to order, and you let them know before that deadline, so you're sure that it gets sold, and then DC sees that. But the same goes with the trade paperbacks. You can actually pre-order those also. If you don't pre-order those, every shop might just get like one. If it's Batman or the latest trade paperback of Amazing Spider-Man, they might get 3 or 4 because they know people are gonna wait collect that off the shelves. But every store is gonna get one, like Mr. Terrific Year 1, and put it on their shelf. Everyone's gonna do it. Every big store, and you really didn't contribute if you got that off the shelf. But if you let them know ahead of time, a month before, 2 months before, guys, when Mr. Terrific Year 1 comes in the graphic novel, in the trade paperback, in the 6 issues in one book with a binder, when it comes, put it in my pull box, and they'll say, sure, we'll put one on the shelf and we'll get one for you, Adam. Easy as that.
Yeah, thanks.
Milestone. Milestone's involvement cannot be understated. The creations of McDuffie, Cowan, Davis, Dingle, and Raheem Rhodes and their collaborators are some of the greatest works in the history of comic books. However, it has not always been a part of continuity. The original 93 ongoings were in their own universe because they were only published by DC. Static would eventually have an ongoing series in the main continuity, 2011, but it only ran for 8 issues because they didn't sell. They cut it at 8, not at 5 or 6. They cut it in the middle of a trade paperback.
Yeah.
They would then have another run of titles with Milestone returns in 2021, but even these titles were victims of DC's lack of promotion, issues with distribution, that's true, as well as the fans not knowing how sales work. And what has Chillmonger done over the last couple of days? told the fans how sales work. Like, let's get that movement going. Keep retweeting my tweets on Instagrams and Twitter, YouTube Shorts also, because I think I'm cracking the code, and I feel like I'm getting places with the hot fire that is going on right now with Dakota incident. I think I'm striking and I'm getting that message across, how sales work. DC is not going to do it for us. They're not going to explain this. Jim Lee's not going to say, hey, kids, let me tell you how it works. How can DC Comics stop the clock? Okay, this is their asks. And Marcus, I don't agree with all these asks. Can you read, please? Because my mouth is getting sore.
All right, here we go. Announce 1 to 3 solo ongoing titles starring Black characters. These titles should have Black creative teams and tell authentic narratives.
Do you agree with that?
That's not a bad one. Yeah, it's not a bad one. 1 to 3, that's not a large ask. That's not a lot of books. And it's asking them to be centered and have authentic stories and have Black teams writing them.
I think if they're not selling well, why the hell will we do 3 and dilute the attention? Let's say, well, this is your one book. Concentrate the sales. You guys want to make a Black comic book sell? Here's your one chance. Don't have a customer say, oh, I don't want to read Vixen. I prefer Black Lightning. No, there's only one Black book you can get. So just maximize those sales.
Well, my argument to that would be consolidating, because the idea that a book will perform or not perform is not dependent on the writer. It's not dependent on the publisher. It's not dependent on the distributor. It's dependent on the audience and what they like. Right. So do we want to put all our hopes and prayers on one, and then also getting out of the idea that there can only be one? So let's say that we get one of these books to pop and it actually turns into an ongoing. And then they're like, okay, good. And then that's it. Right.
No,
if we're doing the one at a time. Right. We don't want that. But I'm saying that's what that turns into when you can only do one book at a time. And so I forgot to turn on this damn light. That's what it turns into if you can only do one book at a time. I think 1 to 3 is a reasonable ask, and it's not so much that it distracts the audience. Like if there's a Vixen book mixed in there that you don't want to read, cool. But at least it strengthens the odds of you having a successful Black ongoing book if you're not just hinging it all on one title. And then also you leave the door open for people to come up behind you. Like if you tell them, no, we're going to focus all on one book, they will take that as you only need one Black book. You only need one on Black ongoing. Don't close the door behind you. All right, here, next one.
When that one book succeeds, I think it proves the need for the second and the third. But regardless, the next part was that
I agree with you. I agree with you, but I think that's part of the asking for 1 to 3. Like if you want to go about it one at a time at the idea that we have a number that we want to get to, I would be cool with that, but not just, all right, we're going to focus all our energy on making one top tier Black comic, which sounds good in abstract. But then again, how do you ever get to the next Black book if you're putting all your energy just into one book?
In 2021, when DC started with the season 1 of Milestone, Hardware got a book, Icon Rocket got a book, Static got a book. They did 3. All 3 tanked. So what you're asking for is to try the same thing again?
Changed if you only launched, if the books were still the same and only one of them launched, then that would have made it successful?
I think more sales would have gone to one of them, because it's not like pick your choice. Do I want Hardware, Icon, or Static? Which one is my $4? Which everyone goes to the shop with a budget.
That you're talking about, I think that more it could be marginal. Like it's hard to say that whatever that bump you would get from the other books not being there would be significant or not. You know, there's no way of telling whether or not that puts you over.
I'm sure it won't be a major significant. It's not going to be 30% sales increase. I know I'm arguing about
good. They weren't good.
With the creative staff though, and salute to Stamina who said points are being made on both sides here. The Black creatives, I want top creatives, so I would like for them to take a Morgan Hampton, a Joseph Village, a Stephanie Williams, or Nicholas Draper Ivey who wrote this book. I would like them to get a chance to do the Justice League book when Mark Waid is done, or do a significant other title. Now Morgan Hampton, he's doing Green Lantern. He isn't pigeonholed to just doing the Black books over at DC. So I kind of respect that, and I think he'd be my guy. So I think I don't really have too much of a problem with that. Because he is one of the writers who's allowed to write, the other books, Aquaman, Green Lantern, that kind of stuff. So if you're allowed to do that, then yeah, that's why I want writing this Black Book.
So I'm reading the second part, right? And I hear what you're saying about top tier. I think it's hard for other comic book characters to be like, hey, put the good guys on there. Like, you know what I mean? Who's the good guys? Now you got to name them. But I would like to see top tier names on some of these books. The second one, though, kind of clears up your worry about splitting I think about like splitting the vote. If they allow the 1 to 3 that they're bringing out to have cancellation immunity for 2 years, now you're actually giving the audience time to grow organically. If it's going to happen, it'll happen in 2 years. Like if you have 2 years of writing a book and it doesn't pop, okay, that's proof. Like it's not what needs to be written, or it's not what the audience is attached to. But the patience that you can have with the story. I think about Eve Hewing when I see this, right? If she knew she had a guaranteed 2 years to write a book, how differently the end of her arc on T'Challa would have been. I think her end on Photon, right? If that didn't get, swapped into a 5 issue, I think it was mini, how maybe different. Yeah. If that wasn't so short, how would that have ongoing looked for Monica as opposed to what we got? So maybe that weight lifted off of you, knowing that you got security for a little while, gives you the birth to tell a better story. And then also, if there is going to be an audience that's garnered from that book, it gives you more than 8 issues to do it.
I'm shaking on the inside with how much I disagree with everything Marcus just told you guys. This is a business. If a comic book doesn't sell, and we know that comic books sell, issue number 1 is great, issue 2 is bad, 3 does worse, and there's never like an increase. There's years of comic data which shows we only lose readers. We never do that up. Then asking for immunity of cancellation is not the answer. Photon issue number 5 sold outside of the top 200 comic books that month. It was abysmal. Why would it deserve a 6, a 7, 8, 9, 10? There's so much information.
Yeah, man. You hate the results that these companies and these publishers give you. You hate it to the core. But like you preach their doctrine a lot. Like you preach their ideology. Like, oh, this is a business and it's about dollars and cents. And it's like there's no room for creativity in that. Like it's not. I don't think it's unheard of for you to hit a point in the story that booms out to the rest of the comic book community. Like, oh yeah, did you hear what happened in such and such book? And maybe the creator, the writer, is skillful enough to try and build to an arc, as opposed to just trying to throw it to you in the first 3 issues like a Michael Bay film, and they get punished for it. So if you have a balanced storytelling style, and it's not just all bang bang shoot 'em up, and you actually have to have time to build into something, then your book's not going to sell. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of cutting off what ifs. Okay. I think there should be enough room in this industry for a what if every now.
Here's my gray area middle ground that maybe we could agree on. It's asking for immunity from cancellation for 2 years. If this ask was, yo, we know you need 15,000 readers on a monthly basis to succeed, but if it gets down to 14,000, please don't cancel it just because you're losing a few $100s worth of, like, if that's what the ask was, then maybe I could say, yeah, okay, fine, we can, but we're still asking a business to
lighten
operate
the conditions a bit. Okay.
I could get with that's that. All. If that was the ask, like, yo, don't be so quick to give up on a book. But immunity from cancellation is, I don't want that, because I don't want there to get to issue number 24 and look how low this thing is selling. Yeah. I don't want that.
Yeah, for sure. I just think that, and it's all characters are not equal, right? I'm not talking about giving us a hardware book for 30 issues. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm saying, if you are going to put a major push behind a character like Virgil, or if you were going to go the icon route, or something like that, yeah, I would want to see, because I also know the controversy of a book like that selling well. It may not sit well with everybody in that room. Hell, we don't know. Maybe they know something we don't know. Maybe they know individuals we don't know who just are dead set against having a book like that for a black character in DC. I have no clue. But maybe there's some internal politics there to where they might need a guaranteed protection to actually live with some of the decision makers in that office. But I would want to see a elongated arc for a character like Static Shock, because I feel like he has a lot of potential to grow with this generation. Like I feel like he's a character that's more so fit for the children of today. And I know we've kind of given up on young people reading comics anymore, but if ever there was a chance, it's a character like Static, right? Somebody who could easily cross over onto the small screen or the big screen and draw that crowd, and maybe, to God forbid, draw some interest in the books. So yeah, I would like to see a little bit of buffer around them. But yeah, if it's not so prominent, I guess, as a guarantee to have a book for the next 2 years, maybe we can work backwards from that initial negotiating point.
Look at the screen. January of 1997. This was Static. This was the height of the Milestone. This was issue 45. It was a $2.50 comic book. There were 4,700 units that sold. If there's 4,000 units that are selling off of Static back then, I don't think that there's never been this huge Static audience. They've always been able to survive off of little sales because maybe they don't have
comics,
the same
comic audience.
Maybe Milestone doesn't have comics. They didn't have the same expenses of a DC comic. Like they don't have super editor, associate editor, chief editor. There's not a lot of people that need to be paid right there. So maybe they can stay afloat with 4,000 units. But now in this age, 4,000 is not going to cut it. They will not. That is way beyond cancellation territory. I don't think the audience exists or ever has existed for Static like that.
I mean, we'll see. I guess.
Yeah,
we will see.
Update and utilize new forms of promotion such as social media and influencers. Absolutely. And we don't even need that. Us influencers, we can talk to these artists and these comic book writers and stuff and have our own little network. I think that's the next step. I think we all need to unite into our little clubs and just have like coverage of these comic books. And we can make Morgan Hampton a superstar writer. We can elevate him by just simply bringing him up every day. I can say, yo, Morgan Hampton, please do the intro of the Pantheon stream, just like that we got Josh doing the outro. If this series perform well, continue them and greenlight a Power Company book to highlight minor black characters to give them a chance to find new fan bases. How do you think I feel about that one? Let's take all this energy, all this positivity, and let's focus on Black Lightning's daughters. Let's focus on some X-Men. Let's focus on unknowns. No, don't waste that on. Please, we need top 20 characters. We don't need the 78th most important character to jump up to the ranking of the 39th. I need A-list and B-list, not let's get this D-lister to the C-list. We're doing progress. No, we're not. It's a $4 comic book either way, not minor characters. So I disagree with that.
So if I'm being gracious, I will say that this is their way of trying to get, maybe some friends some work here. And then if we have all these other books, we can get even more black creators in here. Let's stay on the positive side of that, I guess. I agree. As much as I do want to increase the opportunities, that's because I believe that there are characters that, especially within that universe, that deserve a little bit of shine. And again, placed in the correct light with the right creator, shout out to Dwayne McDuffie. I think there's a chance for there to be a much better performance than 4,000 copies nationwide. But that doesn't mean I want to see Virgil's cousin, in a short series, limited series, or in any other capacity. Let's focus these slots that you're asking for on what you would consider the juice. Like, get your best. Push that. I don't think your best as in only the best, the one, but get what has the most likelihood of audience retention, and put your energy into that.
And DC's listening, Marcus, let's give them a list. Jabari just asked who's our A-listers. Well, obviously John Stewart, the Green Lantern. Just kidding. Our A-listers.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Hell yeah, Jon Stewart. While he's on TV, there should absolutely be a book while he's on television.
You don't gotta explain it. You don't gotta explain it. Who else is an A-lister who's black in DC that you have, or a B-lister? Let's just list them off. There can't be that many.
Yeah, no, terrific. They don't have a lot.
Static?
I mean, Static. You have to get Static in there. Cyborg.
Yeah, Cyborg's a good pick. B-lister. Always going to be in a team, so he's kind of safe for always appearing on screen. So kind of like Storm is always safe on the X-Men. So we got. You think Jon Stewart?
Oh, we're doing both. I thought we were just doing DC. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm only doing DC. We got Jon Stewart, Green Lantern. We've got Cyborg and Static, Virgil Hawkins. On the women's side, I got to give it to Vixen, and I can't think of another black female on DC. I've always been a Marvel guy. Someone in chat can
say Icon. I want to push Icon into that realm, that conversation. I think he's in need of a big writer.
So that's 4 black characters. I think Black Lightning is worth it too. He's like a 50-year-old character. So there's right there. It's 5 males and 1 with Vixen. Keep it there. Vixen. Hey, Chad is saying Naomi. Chad is saying Nubia. Nubia, she's like.
Naomi was on TV. Starfire not black in the comics.
If Nubia, fine. There we go. We gotta have 2 ladies. 2 ladies. We got 1 in Nubia. Let's differentiate her from the Thamagarian of Diana Wonder Woman. But we got 2 women there. Focus on them. Mm-hmm. Don't ever go. What about this other black woman? We're just trying to get one to pop. I'm not trying to reach for the 115th best character you have to make her the 87th. Just let's focus on Nubia and Vixen, and then out of these 5 men that we just selected,
you wanna God damn it, don't lose it. Oh, fucking a Black Manta. Get you a Black Manta mini like they have for Doctor Doom with Christopher Cantwell a couple years ago. Interest you in some Black Manta?
I'd have a different strategy for villains and heroes, but why not? The Killmonger got a series, why not?
I mean, it works. I think it works a little bit better for. I think there was a pretty good Joker book a couple years ago for DC, but it works a lot better for Marvel on the villain ongoings as opposed to DC. At least I think. I think there's a lot more popping over there for the villains. But
regardless, man. Back to my point. Choose who are your 2 premier women. Who are your 2 premier males. Get behind those 2. You don't have to spread the attention or the attention of the page time with all these black characters. The enemy of representation is quantity. Get behind one. Let the whole line, all the writers know that we're behind this black character and this black character and this black character and this black character. All right, let's get them. 2 males, 2 male, 2 female. And let's start with, I would go with a static ongoing comic. I think that's where the momentum is right now. If to break this 115 days, I would say a static comic book should be the one. And they leave us with a quote: "Escape is impossible until one perceives all of the barriers." We perceive the barriers, do you? The website is DC So White. Hashtag DC So White 1,000.
Hashtag DC So White.
Hashtag customers so absent. Buy the books.
Okay. I mean, I think you really hate the results. You have your thought process of how to fix it, but then it's just like that. I think that attitude of, oh, well, you don't buy the books is the same reason why we keep rerushing these minis written by, little known writers. Is why it gets so little attention, because it's starting from the premise that this is happening because of the people we're trying to sell it to, not us. We're not putting the onus on the people who are actually selling the product to sell the product.
I got you. This is a route. This is a solution or an attempt at a solution. This is something I cannot crap on if it sounds like I'm too down on it. Sure. This is just it just wouldn't be what I would do, but it's happening, and we're if I'm putting attention on it, it's not because I hate it or I'm mad at the creators of the movement or anything.
No,
like
for sure.
I do think Chill is right. Pick a few black heroes who are in different areas of the universe and push them hard. Default Avengers, the X-Men, the Spidey, and Mystic Heroes at Marvel. If you guys pick up Justice League Unlimited, then you'll notice that lately Mr. Terrific has been featured on it. Now, Marquise Draper has been editing this book, and I could imagine he's the reason why Mr. Terrific is getting the spotlight here in the Justice League. So maybe another year worth of Mr. Terrific appearing to that audience who pick up that book. He won't be so foreign next year when, the Man of Tomorrow movie comes out and we got a Mr. Terrific book alongside, whether limited series, whether ongoing, who knows. But I think we still got to prove it in the limited series realm. So I wouldn't be mad at DC if they announced that. But you know what I am mad at DC for? When they said DC next level, we're going to focus on some lesser known characters, not a black character in sight. We have the Teen Titans, I guess. You get a black character in that one, but that was pitiful.
Go.
Mike from the Rogue Comics in Connecticut says, the final order cutoff is all that matters. It doesn't matter once the book has dropped. Once the book drops, DC got their numbers. They couldn't care less if what's out in the world sells or not. You're right. They don't know if you actually picked it up off the shelf or not. All they know is this store ordered 7 issues of Dakota Incident. That's all they know.
Yeah.
They don't have cameras at every shop going, okay, look, that thing's still on the shelf. Where are we going next? Game of Thrones, the Lanterns trailer, The Boys. You want to talk about the Tubi cartoons? The Tubi cartoons? Hey, who's been turning on Tubi
cartoons? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Tubi cartoons.
I thought when they announced this and I saw all the noise, I thought it would be epic. Maybe it's because there's like bigger things happening in the world right now in the peninsula, but I have not been seeing people talking about Justice League or Powerpuff Girls or any of the. It's been silent, and it feels like it was a big deal when Tubi says we're entering our cartoon phase. So I'm kind of worried like that there's been so little noise.
I mean, it's retro cartoons though. It's not like people are watching new content to spread all over the internet. It's not I mean, social media silence over new additions to Tubi. I wouldn't necessarily take that as it's doing bad. It's going to take for Tubi to pop in the general masses. They're going to have to do something different. I think adding retro content is right in line with what Tubi already does. So I wouldn't take it too bad.
Damn, I really thought that we would get clips of a Justice League episode here and there and study pieces and things. And I think I'd see reels and all that good, like just people covering. I know what you're reading to, and people just covering the Justice League. I thought that would be awesome, but that's not what we're getting.
Appreciate you, Torian. Y'all make sure y'all go follow Torian Rain. Reloaded like the Matrix.
And Black Panther 3. Go ahead.
Read that one. I was just gonna say, give me, because it's Cartoon Network cartoons, right?
Mostly.
Give me your top 3 Cartoon Network cartoons. 90s, early 2000s.
Maybe Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff, and Justice League / Unlimited.
It definitely counts. I'm gonna set the superhero stuff to the side because there's like, you got to do Batman, you got to do Justice League Unlimited, even Young Justice to a certain degree. I'm gonna leave all of that in a section by itself. If I had to just say the Cartoon Network stuff, give me Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Oh,
give me Codename Kid Next Door.
That's a good one,
right? Because that show blew my fucking mind. I want to say Dexter because it was just such a standard one, but I'll switch it up and I'll get a little bit spicy. The Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Is one of the most underrated comedies, bro. I can still watch Billy and Mandy now and crack up. Billy and Mandy was hilarious. If I had to choose 3, that's why I mix it up. The original Teen Titans, again, I'm putting that with the other stuff. I'm putting that with Justice League and Batman and all that stuff. Batman Beyond. Courage was also a regular. Courage the Cowardly, but I was scared of Courage at first. I didn't think courage was actually for children at first. Literally, I was scared of courage for a minute. Shit was weird.
Samurai Jack was always a good one.
Samurai Jack is underrated, man. That's probably I want to say I was watching Samurai Jack regularly before I was watching Dragon Ball Z on the regular. Like I would watch Toonami up until the point the Samurai Jack is on, and I was out of there. You know what I'm saying? It was over with.
Cat Dog and Rocket Power.
Oh, we can do Nickelodeon. Nah, I ain't think we was doing Nickelodeon.
Oh, you're right. That is Nickelodeon. Yeah, you just get on topic. I Am Too Fly. That's not appearing on.
Yeah, but if you want to get Nickelodeon with it, I can give you Hey Arnold. Definitely, that's number one above all.
Avatar.
Give me, yes, Avatar is definitely in their original series, and then give me Cat Dog. Cat Dog.
Yeah, Cat Dog didn't hit with me, but that's cool. Like I liked Rugrats and. Anyways, I don't. Cousin Skeeter, Megan Good.
Cousin Skeeter. No, good show. Good show. If we talking to live, now we going to live action Nickelodeon. Shit, get me. Keenan and Kel, Skeeter.
Yeah. Just Jordan?
Nah.
Zoe 101.
Nah. Yes. Facts. I always wanted to live on some Ocean Beach school where I lived there, and I had to fly back home after the semester was over. It was a dream of mine.
And Corey in the house.
I know you see me standing here.
You can get the words right?
Don't you look, my dear. So come and run away. Yeah. Shout out to Jamie Lynn Spears.
Yeah. We've got a lot
Taina.
of
Taina. You know Taina?
Nah, who's Taina?
She was a Latino girl from the Bronx. I had a TV show on with her back in like 2000. It was a minute ago.
Sorry. I think Static Shock is a great cartoon. Static Shock is so impactful that I don't even call the kid Virgil Hawkins Static. I call him Static Shock. That is his full name. And the sooner everyone else gets with the program, the better. It's like calling Chuck E. Cheese's that when everyone knows it's called Chuck E. Cheese. And eventually they change the name of their company. So they got to change the name of Static also to Static Shock officially. And if they don't, it's okay. We don't need your guidance. But anyway, Static Shock is going to come to Tubi, and I'm kind of worried now since there's no buzz for all of these shows that just came. Will there be buzz for Static Shock? But then that's also good news because if there's no buzz for those other shows, but Static has some buzz, then maybe it looks a little bit even better.
Facts. iCarly, Drake and Josh is another underrated one for sure. Drake and Josh is pretty fun. I thought Josh Peck was going to be hilarious. Mm-hmm. Josh Peck was supposed to be what Seth Rogen ended up being, for sure. Josh Peck is funny. Now he's lost all his weight and he wants to be a tough guy now. He was funnier when he was a kid, for sure.
Did you see him in Oppenheimer? Josh Peck was the reason why the thing went off. Yeah, he was the guy.
Son of a bitch. Yeah.
Bill and Mandy.
AOD, Billy and Mandy. Ned's Declassified, man. They are hilarious. Love their podcast. They bring up a lot of nostalgia, for sure. Love seeing clips of their thing.
Yeah.
Phil Lamar, the GOAT. Absolutely. Phil Lamar, Keith David.
They're both convention kings.
Mm-hmm. Jack. Samurai Jack. Jack.
Let's get into one of these heavier topics. Let's get into the Green Lantern trailer. It's something that if I were to play right now, they'd probably strike me. So I'm not going to play it fully. I'll just play and pause and put still frames. The trailer's out. There's already breakdown. There's already like, where can I find the trailer? There we go.
With all due respect, We've been training for what, 2 months?
Light-skinned Jon Stewart, the guy who does not match. That is the first thing I noticed. And during the 2-minute trailer, I never said, "Oh, I'll forget it." No, this is not how Jon Stewart looks like. Big deal to me.
Hey.
I don't care what you say.
Shout out to Rebel Ridge's cinematographer, because he is so much lighter in this production than he was in Rebel Ridge. Like, I already knew he was light skinned in Rebel Ridge because you see him in real life, but this is a stark comparison compared to how he was glowing. He was glowing in Rebel Ridge.
So the first time we see him in this trailer, he's in the shade provided by the roof of the car, so he looks a little darker. That's got to be intentional. That's got to be camera trickery and stuff, because we know what we'll see when we look at Jon Stewart. We'll say, "Wow, this guy is really, really light for Jon Stewart."
You know what I noticed, other than him being high yellow, is how he tried to mirror Jon's voice. That I appreciated a little bit. If you listen to him, he tries to mirror the character, the animated character's voice a little bit, and that's a nice little subtle touch that tells me he's paying attention to the character. So that was a positive.
Johnny says, "I got more green than this trailer." That's the big complaint. I think Alex Ross was mad about it. Also, the artist.
That is
so. Car crash forces him to save himself, I guess. But the VFX budget either isn't there, or we got to wait till the show to see it. And he gets out. He's in the hot sun. He is still not as dark as Jon Stewart should be. I'll leave it there. You guys get my point. But this is not colorful, and I mean that the other way. It's not colorful. Kind of worrisome.
It is a rather paler kind of presentation palette, I think is the word I was looking for. But it matches up with your Superman hue for sure. It is definitely set up for a fairer tone of people. Kyle Chandler looks great.
Yeah. Small town. Okay. The villains are nothing spectacular, as in like there's no heavy VFX on these guys, on these supporting characters. The green suit is not flashy or it's like the very opposite of Ryan Reynolds, too much, unsaturated from that movie. So the big takeaway is just the looks. The vibes feel like it's a serious show. This is a little mystery show, so what are they gonna do? Reveal plot? Like, that's kind of why we'll watch the show. So it's really hard to advertise, sort of like Cross. So we just gotta hope that the creators are good at storytelling, which they are. They've been associated with many other fantastic projects.
Yeah, and I think they kind of primed the audience, if people was listening, for this. Back when they were giving us the synopsis of the show. Like, that's why I really haven't been too up or down about the trailer, because this is kind of what they presented to us. They called it True Detective. Like, has anybody seen True Detective?
No.
It's not a lot of flash. Now, I do think at certain points they will be forced to lean into the whole cosmic faction of the facet, of the story of these characters. But it's not going to be the main focus, and I'm all right with that in the early stages of it. If we're mainly viewing this as two lanterns doing their job, investigating a problem in their sector, then that it should be isolated to that. It shouldn't be going back to the lantern cores or whatever like that right now. As long as we continue to lay those blocks, right? And I think they will. Just like you said, these creators have been involved with some good projects, so I'm not really too worried about it. I think there'll be enough action to keep you wanting more in terms of the suit and the powers and stuff like that. I don't think we're set up for another Wonder Man.
Jalen Harris. I like the tone and feel of the show, and I trust HBO's track record more than, say, Marvel shows, that they have all these flashy trailers and end up trash or all right.
Facts. That's a fact, because Marvel Go sit up here having you think it's gonna be the greatest thing since sliced bread, and you get 4 episodes into that joint, you be like, man, what in the fuck? What is happening? And that could be the absolute opposite for a studio like HBO, where I wasn't blown away by the Night of the Seven Kingdoms trailers. Hell, I wasn't blown away by the first 2 episodes of Night of the Seven Kingdoms. But it got there. It got there and it delivered. So I'm just like you, man. I trust the studio on this one.
She said, hey, Marcus and Joe, black men with no facial hair scare me.
What up, pal?
More of the same way. We got some red there. We got some red on the grass. So who did that? That's interesting. Yeah. So goodbye green tints. Dudes on horses. There we go. A spaceship of some sort. Now we're talking. Oh, that's not a spaceship. That's just a regular.
That was a plane. Yeah, that was a plane.
No, yeah, see. Okay. We'll see what they do.
If there's one complaint I did have, is that if we're going to take the stance that we're not going to show them using their powers, cool. I'm fine with that. I'm good. If you're going to allow one of them to show their powers, I want to see John, not fucking old ass Kyle Chandler looking like he's being pulled by strings. Okay? show me Aaron Pierre like either the little bit of his shoulder, blitzing off the start of the suit or something like that, or like his eyes turn green, something. Now, I didn't really get the pop from Kyle Chandler going and ascending up,
Look at this. The moment we see him use his ring, he points it forward and
cuts to something
cuts.
else. Gave you nothing.
It
gave you nothing.
It gave us something to talk about or complain about. So lanterns not being shiny and colorful can be fixed in post a lot. So that's good. They fixed it. They fixed Superman's eyes from the trailer when they were cross-eyed before. If you can do that in post, you can do this in post with simply just hitting a filter, increase saturation tint towards orange instead of green or whatever it is on your computer. You're good.
Woman, where's my super suit? Why do you need to know? It's for the greater good. Greater good? I am your wife. I'm the greatest good you're ever gonna get.
They leave us with some last few words.
Have you ever talked with the other lanterns?
I'm the only human. They're aliens. One of them's a fucking squirrel.
So we get swearing. We get confirmation that squirrel Green Lantern will be part of it. I'm not mad at the swearing, and I'm not mad at you called him a squirrel. That's one of the most galactic, fiercest warriors. I'm not that comic book fan.
Yeah, no, I don't think it'll be too much of a thing. I did catch something in the trailer. He mentions that he was the only one there on Earth. So then what happened to Guy?
Oh.
What happened to Guy? He's like, John was asking him something, and he was like, I'm the only one here. So what happened to Bowl Cut?
Good question.
What happened to Bowl Cut?
Let's get in a super chat. Let's go green cucumbers.
I need a dollar, that's what I need. Hey, well, I need a dollar.
I like the trailer. I'm hyped for Pierre to impress. Damn. I'm too flat cam. If you like the trailer, then I can see the things that are likable for you to say you like the trailer. I'm also rooting for Aaron Pierre to succeed as a human being and all that good stuff. So I'll get over my whatever it is, my feelings about that is not how Jon Stewart looks and they got the skin tone wrong. I'll get over that and I'll be on board with watching the show and all that stuff. He's still the secondary Green Lantern, and they're going to replace him with Hal Jordan as soon.
Watch him out.
Thank you, Two Fly. movies gave that look back then because they were shot on film. It's impossible to do what you're talking about, Chill, without it looking fake or being shot on green screen. Okay, thanks for the insight, Pluto. I didn't know that this was something that was irreversible in post. I thought it was.
I mean, they certainly brightened up the Superman trailer a bit, but this is a closer match to what we got from Metropolis, from the first movie.
Let's do another super.
Ric Flair drip, go woo on a bitch. 5790 spent the coupe on my wrist. Multi-million dollar, I'm a fool.
Give it the first 2 episodes? Sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I'll watch the whole thing. Even if I hate the first 2 episodes, I think I'll watch the whole thing and always give it a chance. It's pretty high profile enough to where I don't think I'll miss it. It's not like Acolyte, I can skip it after the first 2 episodes. I'll see the whole thing through, more than just 2 episodes. Yes. Anyone saying anything in a trailer is an unreliable narrator because of editing. Guy Gardner gonna mess everything up. He could die in the beginning, but then why would James Gunn kill his friend's character and cost him a guaranteed paycheck? You know
what? That's the shit I don't want to hear. I don't give a shit about that. If he needs to die for the story, then he needs to die. And it sounds like for some reason, Guy's not around.
That made me think of. There's a video of John Campia, the YouTuber, was talking and explaining how James Gunn might just leave because the differences of the Ellison family and his views and how that relationship is just not going to work, whether the contract expires, whether he quits, I went into that video not even thinking that I would believe any of it, but it was like, it's pretty convincing. So we'll see how that goes. But people, where's he going to work for? Another evil empire? Like, does it really matter? Super. Lawrence with the $2. The good it doesn't look like Gunn touched it.
The lanterns, you say it looks good. It doesn't look like Gunn touched it.
Yes. Don't agree with that because it makes it sound like anything James Gunn touches isn't good. And I think,
well, not in general. Not in general, for sure not.
I heard it also.
I think his meaning was just that it didn't necessarily have the James Gunn tone, right? If you looked at Peacemaker and then Superman and then Supergirl, those all feel like they're telling the same joke. Like they're all they're all similar. This kind of stands out. This feels a little bit more like these guys could run into Oswald somewhere around Gotham and it would make complete sense, you know. Different feel.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know because you didn't watch The Penguin.
No, James Gunn's ability to deliberate is yet to be seen. He's in charge of Creature Commandos. He did so much of the Superman, the Peacemaker. So when I watch the Supergirl movie, I'll be able to know for sure, because I haven't seen the movie. I'll just be able to know if we can have different tones.
I think James is going to stay in the short term. Like, he'll be here for the next couple of years. But a lot of what is going to be, if all of this goes the way that they want it to go and they actually acquire it and it's approved by everybody it needs to be approved by, then they will have a mountain's worth of debt, like far more debt than they already had as Paramount Studios. They'll be taking on all of HBO's debt, and HBO is, Warner Brothers debt. Warner Brothers is like 11 times bigger than Paramount. So they're going to probably put a lot of that financial weight on DC in terms of churning out product that can make major pops. And so if very early on James Gunn isn't, turning, and this is kind of like singing the same old stuff we've been talking about here with him and relative to Matt Reeves, but even more so with the Ellisons, who are going to be looking for somebody to be the scapegoat of what is a mountain of debt that's probably just going to continue. It'll probably be the biggest name that probably doesn't fit with them ideologically. And so that'll be a good opening for them, or a good excuse to say, oh, it's not political, it's, performance based. So I think that's the off ramp, like maybe after the second Superman movie. But if we believe that rumor about them moving, that was Batman. I'm sorry. It moved Superman. So yeah, Superman is probably the off ramp. If Superman 2, Man of Tomorrow, if that performs well, they'll maybe look at extending the relationship. If not, that's the excuse both of them gets to use to, part ways.
Let's go green again with another super.
Count it up, count it up, count it up, count it. Can't take it when you die, but you can't live without it.
Lawrence says James Gunn not leaving a check for some views.
We'll see how much he actually cares. I mean, he did put it in his movie, so we'll see.
The political views of Ellison's and stuff like that, it's more than just policies in the country. It's like you are the reason the world is bad. Like that's who Ellison is. But so was Zaslav, and so was Iger, and so was all these other guys who are buddying up with that state where skin cancer is just so. I mean, you'd think that with all these indigenous people, but no, skin cancer is just at an alarming rate over there.
Ain't y'all from there?
No,
all these melanomas.
But James Gunn's not leaving a check for some views. I hear your opinion. Let's keep it green with another super.
Turn down for what?
Battery says the favorite member of the Akatsuki. Come here. I will always love you. That would be Itachi Uchiha. That would be the master of the Sharingan, the Tsukiyomi, the man who will keep you in a state of getting stabbed for 72 straight hours. You wake up and only one day has passed. That man. Who's your favorite member of any anime?
Favorite character in any anime? I don't know, man. That's hard. I would say either Eren Yeager, definitely the most complex character, or that's tough.
Monkey D. Luffy?
No. What's the dude?
Rock Lee.
No. Grimoires, Demon Sword.
Someone with a demon sword?
Yes, I'm watching it. What the fuck is that shit?
Bleach?
Is that?
Ichigo?
Not Bleach. Black Clover. Marcus loves war criminals. Okay. Hey, listen. It was a very, very interesting character.
Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan? Yeah.
Yeah. Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan. And then also, what is that man's name in Black Clover? Headband.
Somebody will help.
Asta. Yep, give me Asta.
Hasta la vista, baby. Still got these comic books in my hand. The Dakota incident is going into a second printing. Something was achieved that's major. And Static Shock, Virgil Hawkins, may be a mainstay with ongoing comics for eternity because of what we accomplished now. Have hope. There's reason to have hope. There's reason to be pessimistic all the time. This today, what just happened 2 hours ago, is a shining beacon of hope right here. Good artwork. I wonder what they're gonna do with the second cover when they do the second printing. It'll actually be the 6th cover, I think. When they do that, I would like a picture of Static, and he's looking at like 5 mannequins, and they're all wearing his old gear, his old like outfits, and then he's wearing a new thing. That would be cool. Like, this is a new era, and he's older now. That would be cool because you can do spoilers on the cover if it's a second printing now. So just have the older version of Static instead of the younger version of Static, who's seen on there. Great last page too, where he's like, Static is coming to fight. Oh, lovely. I've never had a comic like this in my hands. I've never had a more meaningful comic in my hands than this one right here on the shelf. I love it. And I even got the foil variant. Look at me. I didn't put it on my pull. I only asked for one comic on my pull. If I knew there would be this big push and that there was like something going on, I probably would have gotten every single cover of it on my pull. But I'll see what I can do. I'll see if I can go and collect some extra covers if they make them. If I find a shop that has some. I'm not done visiting all these shops. I like chatting up with some of these clerks and having them explain the comic book business. Triple H says this is a new era.
Sure.
They're gonna show Static at an ICE protest in Minnesota. It's right next to Dakota. In Minnesota, it's just East Dakota. Rogue says, you do know they've been doing a book with Static in it for the past 4 months, right? You're right. There's an Elseworld book of Static and Batman Beyond that they've been doing. So while you're at your shops, if they say, well, we're all out of that comic book, we can't get you a Dakota incident until a couple of weeks from now when the second printing comes in, then you say, sure, okay, cool. I'm going to go to the shelf and get issue 4 of Batman Beyond and Static, and you can support that way. Static looks good. Doesn't he? Doesn't he just look awesome?
Get another copy. And another copy. And another copy.
How many stocks do I really have in stock? Here's another copy right here.
GD, Darius, you can come in here so we can talk Game of Thrones or what? Man, tripping.
Chill gonna get banned from a random shop asking questions about their cells and security systems. They've been receptive. They've been very great at sharing information that they really shouldn't be giving or don't need to be giving or don't need to be wasting their time talking to just some random customer who's never like just a guy who wants to push on the internet.
That's how the comic book shop works. Walk into a comic book shop and the storekeeper doesn't talk to me, I'm probably not coming back. And then also that helps his business. If you understand how you can help keep a book going as an audience, that keeps him in business. Each one teach one.
Yeah, I hear you. Let's play one of the videos that we keep on talking about. I'd like to play this one for the novices. Prepare for some swearing. This is how you pre-order a fucking comic book. So there's this movie, right, that Viola Davis is gonna do. It's an adaptation of the comic book, The Untamed. Put that on my pull list.
Give me just a minute.
It doesn't take that long. I could talk to him as rudely or politely as I want, and he'll do it.
I would like you to talk to me politely.
May you please put that on my pull. Please pre-order it before the FOC, which is this date above. What's taking so long?
I just need your name for that.
Chill.
I just need your name for that, please.
Last name Monger.
Got it. Let me just put that in your pull list. Chillmonger.
My pull list. Thank you. Silver Snail Comic Book Shop.
It's in your pull list now.
Like that?
Yep.
That's all I needed to do. It's that simple. And you leave. Thanks.
Wait.
What?
Don't you want to know the FOC?
When is the FOC?
It's the 30th of March.
And what does the FOC mean?
You got to get your orders in before that date.
Message.
This is
very nice.
Keep doing videos like that long form. I think long is not the answer. I know attention spans are short, and I know I wouldn't want to watch a 17-minute video doing that. So Yeah, that was intentionally 60 seconds for a reason. There's a little bit I cut out. So, but I'll keep doing it. John C. I'm a look. I'm gonna have one of them guys explain what a second printing is. Like that could be useful. Why are you only gonna order this much?
So was
on
that
your
a
shelf?
collab? You got paid for that promo?
No, I didn't get paid.
Man, just renting out the platform. Shit.
Yeah, maybe I gotta
If it's
look
free,
into
go
this.
back to the bus up there. Shit, if it's free, you know.
What's that guy who eats food? Keith Lee. If I can be a Keith Lee for these comic shops, then they'll be like, "Yo, we'll fly you out. Please let people know about what." That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. What? They'll fly me out.
Keith Lee, a comic book.
Yeah, the business isn't there for comic books, but that'd be great.
If
Like,
there were
I
thousands of comic book shops opening up every year like restaurants, then maybe you'd have a chance.
go to my Instagram because I got a few of those, and there's more coming tomorrow. Very informative. Thank you, baby. Sorry, it's the name, so I read baby. It sounds like I'm.
I was about to say that felt affectionate. It felt like you had some feelings behind that one.
Thank you, baby. Get rid of that comment. Let's go
The
on.
light-skinned Keith Lee of comics.
Yeah, the high yellow. Super. To enter, only one leaves alive. Static versus Miles. I'll take this seriously. Okay. Now that Static's older, does he have super strength? No. Is he smarter? Yes, he's had more years at school. Static has the advantage there. They both have Venom Shock, but that Venom Shock has got nothing to do with unlimited power. So I'll give Virgil the power there. It's just the Spidey sense. How are you going to hit him? Well, I don't know. If you have electricity powers, you can hit him. Hit him long range. So yeah, Miles will never.
Miles also has electricity power, so don't that shit cancel out? You know,
it'll hurt him, but it won't like eradicate him. But that's when you take like a magnet, like sewer manhole, and hit him on the side. Yeah,
a Static versus Miles fight would be very interesting. Because, like you said, Miles is stronger. Virgil's more experienced. I think Virgil's powers as a whole are stronger. Like his electricity powers is probably stronger than anything Miles has.
Especially if you read this.
Are we adding invisibility to that? Like, can he turn invisible when he fighting Virgil? Should that count?
Good point.
That is a big factor. Can't hit what you can't see.
Trying to find the page where I saw Static using his electricity, like shooting down on you. Like that's great. That what's invisibility gonna do? If I know what general area you're in, I'm not shooting towards you like that. I'm in the sky. You're not touching me.
That's dope. Yeah, flying. That's another factor. Well, where are they fighting to? That's where are they gonna fight? I guess they're both
Brooklyn.
They're both prepared for urban warfare. Who's better in a city, Static or Miles?
Static for the win.
That'd be a close fight. Actually, that's a what if fight that I would actually like to see if they ever, had the balls to do a crossover like that. I picked that one up.
You may already know this, but I learned that Miles Morales got the name Miles for Milestone. Yeah. Bendis.
No clue. I had no clue.
The more you know. Did anything happen in the latest like an hour or so since we went live? Anything else to report on before we do Game of Thrones without Darius? Or before we do The Boys? Chat, let us know. What do you want us to cover? Big comic book week today. Oh, Trick Williams is doing The Breakfast Club tomorrow.
Shout out to Trick. Just Trick or Trick and Lash?
Just Trick.
Whoop that trick.
Uh-huh.
Whoop that trick.
I like
Whoop
it.
that trick.
Oh yeah,
Whoop
man.
that trick.
That's
Whoop
trick.
that trick. Whoop that trick. So crazy, man. You pull somebody up who's obviously popular, you let them do their thing, and pew! Oh,
You know,
man.
this is
Road
another
Dogg's gone.
of Chillmonger was right, number 13, because I let you guys know when Triple H is getting all that heat. I don't see color, and I'm like, no, look. Big E is out. He's supposed to be the guy that was Triple H's guy before Roman Reigns. That's who he was behind. Vince was a Roman guy. Anyways, I told you guys, Javon Evans, Trick Williams, Obafemi, they're in developmental. They're at the top of the top. Don't worry, things will be okay. Each one of those three are excelling right now.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, I'm still not giving Triple H credit for that, but I will say that he's not in the way anymore, or at least at the moment, he's not in the way. I do feel like he maybe the narratives were a bit heavy-handed before this latest round of NXT call-up, so I like that. At least they're exploring other options. The Vision is absolutely cursed. They're down to fucking Logan Paul as their leader. And
Paul Heyman's out now.
Did he actually fuck his nose up when that he actually broke his nose or something?
He hit him in the back with a chair, not the nose.
Oh, suck it up. Take the bump.
Static can just beat him based off of his magnetism. Bobby says, it amazes me that most people have no idea what Static's actual powers are. Hey, Bobby, let me know. Oh, dude got arrested. Supercell. He got 12 years.
I saw that. That is unfortunate. That's very unfortunate.
The villain?
Yeah.
Oh.
He had got arrested a while back. He just got sentenced. He got sentenced to 12 years.
The more you know. Evans is like, what, 0-13 in title matches?
Has he had a title match yet?
NXT titles.
Oh, you mean from NXT? From NXT titles. Yeah, I don't count in NXT. Especially at that level. Like, who cares who's wearing that fucking belt?
Sami Zayn is 0-13 in title matches too. He's still got a secure
Big
job
facts.
with 10 years.
And they still find a way to make us believe that it could possibly happen for Sami Zayn every fucking time. It makes me sick that they fool me with it every single time. I do think they're headed towards something interesting with Sami though, because instead of the rah-rah, do the right thing, straight lace shit that he's been driving in the ground for a while, now it's like he's reaching a point of frustration. And so you can see him come out and haluva kick Cody, or come out and haluva kick Randy or something in the middle of one of their matches to fuck it up, and that'll start a whole saga easily right now if they play it right. I would like to see him in a different vein, even if they don't put a belt on him. Give him something else to do, because we're overdoing the underdog thing.
FedEx powers are not just electricity. They are more like a superconductor train in Japan, superstatic electricity. What kind of chat GPT answer is this? He just lost to Logan Paul and not Sammy. LOL. It's his booking I blame, not Evans. Sure, yeah, we don't blame the wrestlers at all for what they do. Sammy.
He also beat Gunther and somebody else in a triple threat match to get into the Elimination Chamber.
Gunther wasn't pinned. Did you see that video of why there's so many Jaylens in the NBA? Did you see the Jalen in the NBA video?
Mm-mm.
Why so many Jaylens in the NBA? I think it's way too many Jaylens in the NBA. Went to sleep and it was 10 Jaylens in the NBA. Woke up and now it's 30 Jaylens in the NBA. We got Jalen Smith on the Bulls and Jalen with a Y playing for the Timberwolves. Think it's a joke, but I'm actually earnest. Tell the truth, that ain't even really scratching the surface. Cause there's 607 players on the court playing. 16 teams got a player named Jalen. And it's really 2 Jalens on 3 teams. That's gotta be like 50% of the league. In the crib trying to figure what it all really means. I know their mama raised them like my son is my king. And I could probably recognize them all by facial. And I wouldn't be surprised if they was all biracial. Look, why so many Jaylens in the NBA? I think it's way too many Jaylens in the NBA. Went to sleep and it was 30 Jaylens in the NBA. Woke up and now it's 80 Jaylens in the NBA. We got Jalen Hood up on the Lakers, Wilson on the Nets, Jalen Smith is on the Pacers. Can't forget Jalen Duren is on the Pistons. Another Jalen out of Sacramento where the Kings is. Bridges, Harris, Williams on the Thunder. Lot of place bets on where the next one finna come from. My money on New York to Chicago, cities with the most white baby mamas, as far as I know. And the NFL is even more insane, dude. You ever seen Jalen Hurts and Speedy in the same room? Next draft, more Jalen's in the fold. And it's all thanks to the legendary Jalen Rose. But it's already way too many Jalen's in the NBA. Why so many Jalen's in the NBA? Went to sleep with 600 Jalen's in the NBA. Not a whole league of Jalen in the NBA.
Yeah, he was lifting.
That shit, first of all, he spazzed. But that shit is fucking hilarious. That is hilarious. Like, where they coming from? Woo! That was a good one. That was a good one. There are a lot of Jalen's in the NBA.
Yeah. 53% of the league has a Jalen.
That's insanity. Why are so many Jalen's in the NBA? Answer that, Planet Fanatics. You tell us why so many goddamn Jalen's in the NBA.
I played against Jalen Wilson. I didn't play against him. My boys did.
There you go. So many damn Jalen's in the NBA. So,
Chill, your
rundown
your
so
prediction
far
on that Wakanda trailer view was incorrect. I didn't know it superseded the other trailers. Well, then I'm wrong, Battery.
About what?
Don't worry. Planet Jalen in the building.
Yeah, later than normal. Very irritating. It's been raining here the past few days and cleaning those buildings. People tracked in so much stuff. So annoying.
There's so many Jalen's in the NBA. All right, so the rundown so far. Oh, I was gonna give him a chance to talk about everything else we talked about. We had the Dakota.
Well,
incident.
I did. I heard it. I haven't read the Dakota incident. I hate lanterns. Was that it? I think that was.
That man's hating.
You guys talked a lot about the Dakota incident.
Did you hear any news about TV
it.
and cartoons?
Oh, I did see you guys talk about that. No, I haven't heard anything about it. I know that all those cartoons are going to Tubi. I will be watching. Of course, like Marcus, big fan. Codename Kids Next Door. That was my all-time, I think, Cartoon Network show. Codename Kids Next Door was so damn. It had no business being that good. I mean, followed up with movies. The movies were the movie, not movies. The movie was good. So I'm ready for some of those shows. But lanterns, I wish I'd have been here for that one. I could have not gushed. I could have ripped that to shreds.
Go.
And I plan to, not today. I think lanterns is shit. I think that trailer was shit. I know that a lot of people are like, oh yeah, it doesn't. It looks fine. I think I'm sick of the. I think I say this all the time. I said it with Wonder Man. I've said it with almost every other superhero show that's come along. I'm so done with the grounded stuff. I don't care. I don't care that you want to do a grounded thing. I don't care that you're like, it's so frustrating, bro. And I agree with all the memes going around, sharing Zack Snyder's Green Lanterns and sharing what Obadiah Stane said to Iron Man, or said to the dude. Tony Stark made this in his cave with a box of scraps. Zack Snyder created that in his garage with his iPhone, brother. And you're telling me that I have to watch some weird Western grounded version of Green Lantern? I don't care that he mentioned the other lanterns. Like that people were getting excited about that. That excited me during WandaVision. That excited me during Endgame. That excited me during that era. Telling me that there were other Green Lanterns, no shit. Yeah, there's other Green Lanterns. And yeah, one's a fucking squirrel. That doesn't like excite me because we're not going to see Chip. And if we do see Chip, it's going to be like 5 seconds at the end. I don't really have a problem with the no green because it's not Guy Gardner wasn't glowing green either during Superman. The whole him saying, he's the only human could be edited trickery for the trailer because we know that Nathan Fillion is in the show. That was mentioned early on. He will cameo.
Okay.
And I agree with you too on the appreciation from Aaron Pierre on trying to sound like Jon Stewart because he damn sure doesn't look like him. And then that suit's awful. God, that suit is awful. And
I don't think that's Aaron's suit. Let's hope that that's Kyle's suit.
Maybe the coloring too. I don't. That's where I saw somebody said James. It's good because James. This is why I want James because James he's that big colorful guy. There's no color in this. What the fuck? There is no color in this. There's zero color, and it's the Green Lanterns, and there's no color. Not even the suit is green. It's like this pale, depressed. Why do we have to do this $100 million budget show? I'm not looking forward to it at all. I'll watch it. I'll give it the old college try. If it doesn't, that first impression is the only impression I'm giving it. If that first episode, I'm not following them for the first episode of doing Western ass shit. If that ring doesn't come out that first episode, if something doesn't get shot out, I'm done. I'm not watching. I'm not doing this where we do that at the last episode, then in Darkest Day and Bright. No, brother. No. I'm not. No. I won't do it. But I'll give it the college try in that first episode.
How many
Remember
seasons
when
of
Skeleton Crew began? Skeleton Crew had them in the spaceships, and we thought, "Whoa, this is okay. This is Star Wars." And it really wasn't like that for the whole other show. Maybe that's what they'll do here with Lanterns. All the budget will be the beginning. They land on a planet, and then it's let's solve a mystery.
Darius, how many seasons of True Detective have you seen? Have you seen any seasons of True Detective?
I have not watched. I know what True Detective is. I haven't watched it though, and I know that it's not like bang, 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 fast. And if that's what we're comparing this to, then this is going to be a very okay. So Brightest Day, Dark Night, I coming to episode 8.
No, I just don't think we got the right expectations, and I think a lot of people got the same type of feeling from the trailer because they were expecting a bang bang shoot 'em up. It's going to be more of an investigative show. So I feel like if you dip out on the first couple episodes, you basically doing what I was prepared to do on Night of the 17th.
Oh, I was, and I was with you on Night of the 17th.
Left out. Yeah, I was about to be out, right? But then it completely changed. Like the pace picked up, the story was consequential again. Things were happening that we cared about all of a sudden. And so I do think you give it. How many episodes is in the season?
What is it? 8? Isn't that the standard now? 8.
If it's 8, can you give them 2.5 episodes?
If you get into the first couple of minutes of that third episode, for the sake of what we do, I'll give it
2.5. Yeah. Okay, all right. Get into the third episode and watch the first 15 minutes, and if it still ain't going on, all right, turn the shit off. 2.5.
I can give it. I'll try to give it that 2.5. I just really know that first episode is gonna leave me like one.
It's gonna be dry, probably. Yeah, it's gonna be dry. Because they're probably investigating a murder of some sort. Now, my question is, with the combination of Hal saying that, all right, I'm the only one here, okay, and the fact that they're investigating a murder, And we know that, Guy is going to make an appearance, but we don't necessarily know in what capacity. Could they be investigating Guy's death?
That was something people were talking about too. Did Guy die? And I'm thinking to myself, huh? I mean, I get it. He could be.
Who
But
else would you send to investigate the death of a lantern?
that's true.
And why else would the lanterns be investigating a murder on Earth? They're not the police. Well,
But then wouldn't his ring then go to the next person it deems worthy, and would they not be involved with that person?
John, maybe Guy's ring went to John,
or they changed the rules.
There you go. Maybe it went to John. Well, okay, and the showrunner, director, whoever, I don't know, somebody involved with the show come out and said that there is going to be cosmic stuff, because I mean, Sinestro is the villain
eventually. Eventually, yeah.
Yeah, in the show. Well, he says in the show, obviously not the first episode or whatever, but he said in the show there's going to be cosmic things that go on.
Okay.
But remember, Sinestro is the villain, or he is involved in this.
He's the main villain of the show. So then, if he is,
double check that. I want to say,
I was gonna say, if he is the main villain of the show, then I don't think we have anything to worry about. I think we have to end up in some sort of cosmic capacity eventually, because literally our villain isn't from Earth. So we have to end up off of Earth in some capacity at some point to either explain why he's the guy or to introduce him in some capacity, right? Like there's got to be some sort of extraterrestrial concept to the plot if he's there.
Sinestro and the Red Lantern. We just saw Red.
Yes, okay. This is what they say here. This is the description for Sinestro in the show. It says, ruthless yet undeniably charming, Sinestro is a former Green Lantern. These are things we know. Lantern who turned rogue. Sinestro's manipulative nature drives his enduring obsession with the former mentee Hal Jordan, our former mentor Hal Jordan. But he is in Lanterns, so.
But look, it's already admitting he's the villain, so there's no swerve of he turns his back on Hal and all that stuff. I kind of want the swerve, but it's a story we've already seen before. People will expect it. There won't be much of an impact. These heroes have been in a lived-in universe, so if he did his turn, it already had to have happened. So maybe, he's Sinestro. He's a villain.
Ulich Thomason is playing him, if anybody knows, familiar with who he is. He looks the part without the makeup already. He looks the part. So
you don't want to hear that.
What
that
else
you
is he in?
What else is he in? What were you saying, Joe?
I said, like, you don't want to hear that. Like, it's someone to say you look the part, and it's a villain. Like, that's a backhanded compliment.
Well, he looks like Sinestro. He's been in as of late. Boundless. I'm not sure what that is. The Marco Effect, Flickering Lights, Banshee. It's a series. Adam's Apples, Finston, from a film from.
Even though I haven't heard of these things, these are still like experience, right? It's work, so I'm happy.
I've heard of Banshee. I just don't know who he is in Banshee. The only guy I remember for that show is the Homelander guy.
I'm not seeing anything that I recognize, but that doesn't mean he can't be Sinestro. So yeah, Sinestro's in it. Cosmic stuff. Whoever, I forget who said that, was involved with the show, said cosmic stuff is in the show. And maybe, I don't feel like that the stuff they showed in the trailer was all from one episode. I feel like they pulled through several episodes, and if so, then that's a lot of desert. We're in plain clothes, but so we'll see.
It could be like the volume where they can only have one setting on it. They got to download the other ones in the next season, maybe.
I gave the Penguin absolutely zero shot of being good. I thought it was a mistake. I thought that they should focus on Batman and put that resources there. I didn't really think that they needed a television show, and it performed exceedingly well, and it was renowned by critics and fans. So I'll give them their space. I'll let them work. And we'll see what happens.
That is true. They did do that. Penguin was revered by a lot of folks. I still haven't seen it.
The greatest comic book series ever. I won't fight with you on it. I guess that's your fate.
WandaVision exists.
I was about to say WandaVision is there. That's what came to my mind at that point.
Loki is a very, very, very close though.
I don't think Loki holds a candle to the Penguin or WandaVision for that matter.
Really?
I didn't care for this final season of Loki. I didn't like how it ended.
Really? Oh, season 2?
Yeah,
or 1. Oh, I hated season 2. Season 2 was ass.
Season 1, yeah, season 1 was pretty dope how they ended it.
Season 1. Season 1 was great.
To this day, I barely understand what happened. Like Loki
in season 2
now holding the at the
end
of
season 2. I stopped watching season 2. I think I stopped watching that episode where Miss Minutes was like terrorizing that town, but she got big. I was like, turn this shit off.
Right?
So turn this nonsense off. Yeah, that whole weird ass like stalker situation going on with He Who Remains. It was
very weird. So
it wasn't great. We were wasting a lot of time in that second season.
You know what I was thinking of just now? Voldemort's casting and how they'd say it's not going to be Cillian Murphy anymore, but the Vision actor is going to be the guy. What's his name? Paul. Him.
So Vision's going to die. That would occupy a lot of time, I feel like, if you're Voldemort.
7 years.
Bye-bye, Vision. No West Coast Avengers.
Wait, Bettany is Voldemort? I must have just zoned out for a second. Paul Bettany's about to be Voldemort?
It's a rumor that he's... Well, actually, I don't even know if it's a rumor. I thought the trades even talked about it.
Dope, actually.
Yeah, I think you do. I think he do a good job.
You know what popped in my head when you said that? I was like, damn, he's not usually that heavy on the British accent. But then I thought of him in Knight's Tale. I was like, oh, no, he could turn that shit up. He can turn that shit up for real.
Yeah, I like Bettany.
Why is there so much Jalen's in our chat right now?
Why is so many Jalen's in the chat? I think there's too much Jalen's in the chat.
His name is Jalen Harris. I feel Jalen harassed. Like I pray that the new season of Daredevil is good, if not way better.
That's another one I turned off.
You didn't finish last season?
No, I think Daredevil? I turned Daredevil off when Muse died because I said, okay. And then the weird shit with that girl who's coming back in season 2, his ex-girlfriend now. I guess
I'm like, man, how do they find a way to keep adding these like these girlfriends that end up like what is Invincible's girlfriend, Amber? How did they keep Amber in these girlfriends? Like you got to find a way to introduce these characters subtly, right? Like that kind of protects them from vitriol from the character that we're actually rooting for. And they just don't be doing it at all, man. They leave them up for the platter for the fans because it's like they don't write any type of reasoning for these characters to end up where they're at. They just do kind of random shit that doesn't ever make sense. Like I'm gonna just trust the Kingpin because I think he's a great man. I think he's a great man. Yeah. Yep. And I'm gonna be all up under him, regardless of what my significant blind other is telling me. I'm just be all up underneath the Kingpin and trust him wholeheartedly, and then take his side in the end.
Then lectured him. Wow. Then lectured Daredevil. Yeah. I was like, what?
Sure did.
Like, I said, turn this nonsense off. I'm done.
Amber all over again. But yeah, no, they're bringing back. They're already bringing back Jessica Jones. They get Mike Coulter in that thing. Start that whole Devil's Reign arc. Let's do it. It's fixable, maybe.
Do you hear my mic right now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, my screen froze.
What you got
Better.
on the screen? What you got
Game
on
of
the screen?
Thrones.
Oh.
Game of Thrones movie in the works at Warner Brothers from the Andor writer.
Whoa. Tony Gilroy? Oh, the writer. Okay.
Winter is coming to the big screen. A Game of Thrones movie is in the works at Warner Brothers from House of Cards showrunner and Andor writer Bo Williamson. He already submitted a draft, according to Page 6 Hollywood, which broke the news of the project. The director hasn't been set, nor have any cast members. However, the outlet notified it's unclear whether the Game of Thrones film will actually be made, given that the new Warner Brothers is in the process of being sold to Paramount. What?
I
How
still
that can stop a movie from being made?
Yeah, I don't think that would stop that. Game of Thrones is one of the biggest IPs ever.
Yeah.
So I don't. They'd be dumbasses.
They're
to say,
buying it.
well, no.
It's stuff like this. They're buying it for stuff like. Now I understand you put a little bit of speculation on it because it is a project or it's a machination of the old regime. It's something that they thought up. So it's not just guaranteed that it sees the light of day, but that you could say the same thing about everything coming out of Warner Brothers right now, theoretically, if that's how we're treating it. But if you're Paramount and you bought one of the most storied studios in all the world, you're gonna want to run up the mainstays, the A-list brands, and Game of Thrones is definitely a part of that ilk. I would see that as being like kind of like Avatar to Fox when Disney acquired it, as opposed to getting pushed to the back like Batgirl.
I would even say to Paramount, that'd be dumb as hell as if they say, well, that was the old regime's idea first. Well, really, it wasn't. This was George R. Martin wrote this back in the 90s. Aegon's Conquest. So it's like you would be leaving so much money on the table if you didn't do if you don't do anything. Game. I mean, they're dumb. Just look at the Knights of the Seven Kingdoms numbers. Let that speak for the game. I mean, you don't even have to let Game of Thrones itself, the original series, speak for itself. Those series were critic rating and audience ratings in the 90s, 96, 98. Even the bad seasons.
I think that there is a vast untapped cinematic potential for Game of Thrones. And for if there's ever a saga or a quest within that whole universe to transfer over to a larger platform, it's this story. It is the story that started it all, right? Like theoretically, let's say that this is earmarked for a 2029, 2030 release date. You will have had another season of House of the Dragon. You will have presumably had multiple seasons of Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Any other, spin-offs that you have coming up, the Sea Snake Project, like you're going to have such a vast book of storytelling that when we finally get to the movie, it'll be like, okay, this is the origin for all of that. You know what I mean? You give the fans a reason to flock outward, like to grow that audience theatrically, even in the first iteration. So I like this a lot if it actually comes to fruition, especially if it's a trilogy. Because that means you're taking your time too. We're actually going to get the full fleshed out story. Man, quit playing. Get George in there. Find a director. I wouldn't even mind seeing Tony Gilroy on this as a director. I mean, I think this is right up his alley. Keep him away from Star Wars, but he can definitely do this shit for sure. They speak his language.
The merger is approved. New management could scrap the movies in development. At the same time, Game of Thrones is one of the company's crown jewels. And Paramount CEO Satan has pledged to release 30 films theatrically once the two media giants become one. That means they'll need plenty of material to populate their joint slates. and Game of Thrones is not one of the things you cut. Although plot details haven't been confirmed, the story is reportedly about Aegon I, the founder of the Targaryen dynasty, and his conquest of Westeros a few centuries before the original Game of Thrones. Aegon I, has never appeared on screen, but the royal family, which eventually spawned the ice-blonde Daenerys Targaryen, has been the basis of HBO's 2 successful spin-off series, House of the Dragon, which returns in the summer, and A Knights of the Seven Kingdom, which just finished its first season, based on the books. Yeah, that's it.
My only issue with this being a film is Aegon's conquest didn't last long. Aegon's conquest was, I have 3 dragons. You either bend the knee. And there were some lords like King Argilac that said, okay, no. And it was very quick how Argilac died. I've got 3 full-grown dragons.
Yeah.
One of them is the biggest
So
dragon
first of all,
in history.
you don't start when Aegon lands in Westeros. We can start with maybe we got to go back to Old Valyria. So
Well, yeah, you got
start with maybe
if
a teenage Aegon.
But
I'm
even
just
that,
a teenage Aegon, baby.
16, 17 years old. He's clearly already being groomed, right? To be the next, to be the conqueror. But you don't start him out. He's landed in Westeros, and we're sending out all of our ravens.
Even if we do that, they didn't try to conquer the 7 kingdoms until Aegon. So it's like all that before him, we're just hanging out on Dragonstone. Because they didn't attempt to conquer the 7 kingdoms. So what are we? Are we just hanging out on Dragonstone, and that's the first part of the movie?
So is that not an inflection point? How did we go from just chilling on Dragonstone, doing our own thing, minding our business, to try and conquer these large 7 kingdoms that are spread out across the world? Like, there's got to be an inflection point that changed their calculus.
It was just Aegon.
So why not start? Right. Okay. So even if it's just his own ambitions that led him to Westeros, then show us where that happened. Because I think they're going to do this with Aeg, the descendant of Aegon, right? They're going to show you where his turn might end up coming. But with Aegon, since we know what the end result is, I feel like a lot of the focus for the movies should be on his training, his upbringing, what influences led him to being who he is, what gave him that urge. Again, because as you explained, they wasn't thinking about conquering the North, going to Casterly Rock, going to the Riverlands. They wasn't thinking going to take over the Vale. With nobody thinking about trying to do shit in the Vale. Or what's the damn what's the one they burned to the ground? The castle they burned.
Harrenhal.
Harrenhal. Right, like
the Riverrun.
Harrenhal.
Riverlands.
There's gotta be a motivation to that. And so if we could see where some of that ambition grew, or maybe who he got it from. Did he have a Palpatine whispering in his ear that got all of this going? Is this a fatal tale of Anakin?
The thing with Aegon was, it was more so I had a dream of the Night King, the White Walkers, and everything like that. Scared the shit out of me. Visenya, Rhaenys, we got some shit we got to go handle. I think the way you handle the first part of it, because it's just Old Valyria blowing up. I think Old Valyria is a separate either series or movie on its own. And the reason I say that is because
the movie that could be the whole first film is mostly Old Valyria.
Yeah, but you could put it in there. But even with that, the only thing that unless you're just adding your own things in there that happened at Old Valyria, the only thing that you got in the books wise that out, but I think the way you do that is the way you do this, the way they started the House of Dragon. I love the way now would I had liked to see more of Jaehaerys's reign? Probably, but I liked how you had Daenerys. Rhaenyra giving the narration over how Jaehaerys was splitting, had called the council, or called the meeting, and then decided between Rhaenys and Viserys, and she was explaining all of that and explaining the House Targaryen. Blah, 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 blah. I think you have some British person's voice come over the front of the movie and say, back before the Targaryens, before the dragons, before Westeros, there was old Valyria, and maybe you can show the Targaryens. I think you should probably show something with Targaryens to show the audience, that people that don't know, the Targaryens wasn't shit in old Valyria. They were the bottom of the bottom of the bottom when it comes to dragon families.
But now again, let's put these things together. The Valerians themselves had no interest in conquering the rest of Westeros. The Targaryens themselves were a pitiful house. They were working class, right? How did we get from that point to old Valyria being burned out of existence and the Targaryens marching their way to the Seven Kingdoms to conquer? So if we could even take, let's say, for instance, the Targaryens in a reach for higher esteem and position amongst their people, burned most of them. What if the Targaryens led to the most of the old Valyrians being wiped out, so they could go over to Westeros and do what they do? Well, it ain't very much competition anymore, is it? We don't have to worry about our relative status towards our Valyrian brethren, because most of them are gone now. That then leads to whoever got that plan in motion to start grooming Aegon. Like whoever had this dream,
you would want to change it.
Oh, I'm sure they're going to tweak some things, just like they did the original series. I'm saying, what's the best thing for a cinematic experience that still plays true to the narrative?
Well, if we got it, okay, so then we couldn't. If we got to play true to the narrative, but still changing some things, I think that's one of the things you cannot change. The only reason they left Valyria, and the only reason they are the only surviving dragon riding family, is because I forget it wasn't Aegon's father. It was like one of his great grandfathers or whatever that had the daughter that had the vision of old Valyria exploding. That's why they left. I think if you take that out, then you take out the whole reason of why Aegon is even on Dragonstone.
I don't think you have to take it out. Remember what Jaehaerys told Rhaenyra when they were in the caves looking at the dragon skulls, right? And he asked them, what's our connection to the dragons? Why do people, fear us with the dragons? And she starts talking about their historical ties and how they're the one true dragon riders. And Jaehaerys blows her bubble and says, that's bullshit. Okay, it's a lie that our family put together to control the masses. Why would we think that's the only lie? Why would we think that's the only falsehood that they ever put out amongst the people to shape themselves as deities? What if the first person to do that was Aegon himself, set up a map for Targaryens to rule for the next 400 years?
Wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like a lie in my fiction. Like, there's things I'm believing in, I'm investing in, I'm learning about, and then we go, by the way, that character was lying.
They set this precedent already in the show.
They did
right?
say
Ned
that.
Stark.
But at the same time, they did say that, and I have a problem. Not that I don't have a problem with it, but at the same time, we also know that the dragons are looked at not just by the Targaryens, but even by the town's petty poorest folks as gods.
Yeah,
that's why they were so disgusted when they were parading Meleese's head through the streets, because they were fearful that
they didn't think that they
we're
could
going to
die
be
either.
punished because you just killed. No, they didn't.
They didn't think that they could die,
Well,
and that was part of the veneer for the Targaryens. That's why what happens to their family over the next 100 years happens, because there is no more. There's no what's the presence of a god? There's no
I don't know. I'm
Well,
losing
that
tonight,
too,
y'all. It's
though.
getting late.
But it's like, but what you're saying goes, but even back to what Rhaenyra said at the very beginning of House of Dragon season 1. Just Harris knew he had to figure it out before he died, because he knew the only house that can take down the dragon is the dragon itself. So it's like not they. It wasn't so much that them losing the dragons is what. Well, I mean, yeah, obviously that is what it is, losing the dragons, because even Aegon, young Egg, when he becomes king and deals with all the Blackfire rebellions, he even says, "Shit, we need the dragons back so I can." Because these rebellions got to stop. He spent the rest of his life obsessing over trying to get the dragons back. So yeah, the dragons, play a huge role. Huge, obviously the biggest role in the Targaryen dynasty. Because you even see in Knights of the Seven Kingdoms, the way that some people are talking to Aerion as the crown. And I'm thinking to myself, watching Knights of Seven Kingdoms, I'm like, damn, this is the crown you're talking to. He's not like second, third in line, but he's still the crown. And that is a result, in my opinion, of not having the dragons. Because if I had my dragon, you're not talking to me like that.
Sure. But I think that's why it was so important for them to rein in control of people's minds. And the number one way to do that for the masses is either money or religion. It's the ultimate kind of carrot on the stick to draw people. And so if you can convince people that you're ordained, right, that you're holy, you're chosen, that puts an air of reverence around you, that people will begin to treat you as if you are not human. And so if we're talking about how far can we stretch this thing out. First of all, even if we started it with him touching down in Westeros, we got 7 kingdoms to conquer. And I know a lot of those didn't end up in fights. That doesn't mean they didn't spend, like doing Game of Thrones stuff. It didn't mean that there's not political violence going on behind the scenes. That doesn't mean that there's not backroom deals that led to those.
Does that not make? But does that point right there? Does that not make it more so a show?
Fuck no.
So you can drag that out.
No, it's going to be Game of Thrones either way. But for the cinematic purposes, here's how I'm looking at it. If you were to read history as we know it in a history book versus living that same history, you'd have a very different perspective. And so therein lies the content to fill up these movies. Is we know Aegon's story from a history book perspective. We see how the victors shaped their narrative and how all that shit went. That doesn't mean it has to read exactly like that in the film, because we know that things are omitted by the people who end up winning the conflict. They don't see a reason to show themselves as being weak at any point in it. So it makes sense that the conquerors of that land have painted the narrative of them running up and not really facing a real fight until we get to the north or the Riverlands. So I think there's a lot of story to be told there, even if you stick with the straight up big ass dragon, biggest one we've ever seen in history, show up with some blonde haired dude on his back or some white haired dude on his back talking about he's king with his 2 wife sisters. Even if you start there, you got a lot more story to fill in between the margins of what was told in the pages of the books.
Yeah, you have the political stuff for sure. It's just
that's Kevin
when it comes
Davis
to action, unless you're adding. Okay. Okay. So even if you're adding things to that story, the political things, I'm saying you would have to add more action to it than also. That is not in the, and that's fine too. That's not in the recorded what we know already, because the political stuff would be that's what you're saying, put in the middle or whatever, and then you have the few big battles that did happen, which again were pretty quick because Aegon was like, I mean, pin the knee, or Balerion will burn your shit to the ground, along with you got Vagar, and Meraxes was bigger than Vagar, and Vagar is the biggest dragon that outside of Vermithor that we've seen in Game of Thrones. So getting to see all three of them on the screen, that would be great. That'd be great. Trying to think of the other ones. I mean, you've the battles, the Dorne battle.
Oh, Dorne. Yeah, I was gonna say Dorne never bent. Dorne never. Can we see why?
No.
Like, I don't even think we got a fleshed out explanation as to how they repelled the dragons. That's a great thing to see between
the
battle. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Actually, you're fine.
I was just gonna say,
between the battle,
you got three major battle stops. You got the Battle of Dorne, you got the Riverlands where they burn Harrenhal, and then they got the battle in the north. So between those three, if you can build up enough intrigue in the political stuff that people already love from Game of Thrones anyways, right? Because they're still, think about while Daenerys was amassing her army, when she's going to Marine and she's buying the Unsullied and all that stuff, she's amassing her army. Think about the palace intrigue around all of that leagues away in Westeros and how that filled up entire seasons. There's absolutely no reason why we can't put that in a movie form, right? Them debating over what to do, assassinations attempts before Aegon even reaches the shores. Stuff like that, slows the narrative down enough for you to make a movie out of a small portion of time.
Yeah, the Dorne stuff. You can show all that. I was going to say earlier, with Dorne,
the King Who Knelt. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no battle in the north, because he definitely did. They went to Dorne, or not they. He sent Rhaenys and Meraxes. They went to Dorne, and then forget her name. They called her something Toad, though. She was ruler of Dorne. She was fat, old, blind, and she told Rhaenys to fuck off. She said, no matter what happens, Dorne, you can burn us, whatever. Dorne will never bend the knee or break or whatever. And Rhaenys said, okay, we'll be back. And she left. They came back. Dorne was empty. I think they went underground or something like that, but Dorne was empty. So they couldn't lay waste to the city or anything like that. Then I think when they returned, I think Dorne had ambushed them or something like that. I forget exactly what it was in a minute, but that's the battle where Meraxes dies, because Dorne shoots that ballistic
the little javelin thing.
Yeah, through her eye. And then after they killed Rhaenys, which was Rhaenys and Meraxes, Aegon's favorite sister wife, he came and just for days over Dorne, but Dorne didn't bend nor break. So
Dorne never bent the knee, and bow and bent and broken. They said, we're Dorne. What is dead may never die.
But then she dies. The ruler of Dorne, her son, takes over and bends the knee to Aegon, because he's just sick of the battling, sick of the fighting, sick of it all. But Aegon was sick of it too. He was done. He was tired. He was like, yeah, sure, let's truce.
No battle in the north, the king who knelt. There's a king who knelt.
What did they offer him? Yeah,
I want to say it was a marriage. I want to say it was. I want to say it was a marriage. But I take that back. I still don't think, even with that, it was just a truce, because they never, even still, Dorne never bent the knee. I don't think they bent the knee to Aegon. I don't think her son, I don't think he surrendered in a truce, but it wasn't like, I surrender, you are, Dorne is now a part of the Seven Kingdoms. Well, I think it became a part of the Seven Kingdoms because of the marriage, but it wasn't because they bent the knee.
Nah, Dorne is Haiti. Dorne is like, look, we'll fight you off and all that, but then we still gotta be oppressed by your regime.
Now, what I really
Ooh.
want in Game of
You-
Thrones is for I want George R. R. Martin to finish this Winds of Winter because
Man,
that
it's
is the
not
real.
coming. Just let that go.
They'll finish
Let
One
that
Piece
go.
before they.
Let's talk about how we can get. Yeah, that shit ain't never coming. Let's try to get a Robert's Rebellion movie. Ooh, yeah. If Aegon's Conquest takes off, let's do a Robert's Rebellion movie.
I would like Robert's Rebellion.
But that book ain't never coming. No, don't even.
That's
don't-
and what
don't
that's
worry
so
about it.
disappointing. And it's really disappointing because they had stuff before they started season. The fact that they took out that they made Jon Snow Aegon instead of Griff, who is in the books, who is supposed to be Aegon. So, maybe he's Aegon, maybe he's the Blackfire, maybe he's Targaryen. We don't know because George hasn't been in the fucking books. But so I wish they would have kept him in because that was such a big piece in the book. It's not a big piece, it's a gigantic piece in the books to have in the movies. A secret Targaryen that's maybe a Targaryen, maybe a Blackfire, we don't really know. But you made Jon Snow Aegon. Snow wasn't no damn Aegon. I hate what they did, so I need him to finish
They
that.
made
So
him
I
Aegon.
know what happened.
And then didn't put him on the throne and made him the king
Right.
of the wildlings. they made him Mance Raider. He turned into Mance Raider.
Yeah. But this is great for Game of Thrones. I love this universe. I really, really, really do. It's fascinating. Targaryens are my favorite family in the universe, so I this is fun.
The budget could be under control also for this show. Costumes aren't that expensive.
Depending on how much I
TV
guess
show budgets is high. You know, what did it be for
how
a
much-
movie?
how much we're putting in. I mean, the dragons got to be in quite a bit. That's
That's going to be the
that's a
most
lot of
expensive thing. That
budget.
and probably shooting on site in some of these old Scottish and Norwegian places where they still got castles, shooting on location.
If you shoot on a scaly, like a seat that you have, which is a dragon, it'll look fine. Someone's riding a dragon, talking to the guy right behind him, or the girl right behind him, and you're just having a conversation on a dragon. Just have some blue in behind you. Like, you can really execute that in a very cost-effective way. But when it comes to them flying and breathing fire, those aspects will be pricey. But that's not a lot of the movie. That's going to be such a short amount of the movie.
No, not if it's Aegon's Conquest. Balerion
Burn a bit.
is he's very all three of them are prevalent. It is not like they're walking or I mean, he literally shows up to everyone with Balerion. You see that? You either bend the knee or I'm burning your shit. So Balerion's in a lot of
of the
and
movie.
if we're putting Balerion on the screen for the very first time, I need that Captain Jack Sparrow, Pirates of the Caribbean, what's his name? Tentacles.
Davy Jones.
God, why am I playing? I need that Davy Jones CGI. I need that shit that's been held up forever. I need Balerion to look crazy ridiculous.
It is.
A lot
It's
of
going to be the
the
biggest dragon we've
he'll
ever
be
seen.
doing
Like,
will be
we
from
definitely
far
need that.
away, where he'll be smaller or not too detailed or not too expensive with the VFX because it's so far, where you can get away with a fire-breathing dragon without having to go really pixel for pixel, trying really hard to make it look realistic.
Oh no, man. That's the one thing I don't want them to cheap out on. Like, if you want to reuse some costumes that you already used in the TV shows to save some money, do that. The VFX budget for that movie has to be leading the charge, because it's like Darius says, it's key to changing the calculus of once great kingdoms on their own, and the main reason why they were ever able to be unified. They just were such an imposing force. So a lot of the focus is going to be on them dragons. And I get what you're saying. Maybe not at every point it's expensive, but when they do use it, it's got to be top tier.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gotta be top tier.
200 million budget at its lowest for a great Game of Thrones movie, probably more. Whew.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Not to mention, who plays Aegon? Who do you think? Who do you get to play Aegon?
Yeah, see, that's right. Egg's mother is from Dorne. That's right. Egg's mom is Dornish. We don't see them in. We don't see her in Knights of Seven Kingdoms. Somebody else marries Dornish. Forget. I forget.
Hell, my casting person, huh?
But that's the same thing with like Aegon Griff from the book. He was, supposedly he's supposed to be Elia Martell's son. Rhaegar and Elia Martell. Yeah, I can hear you. Rhaegar and Elia Martell's son. So he had Dorne at his side. He had the Golden Company at his back. Can you imagine that in the Game of Thrones? So you've got Cersei doing her shit. You got the White Walkers doing their shit. You got Daenerys doing her shit. Now we got another possibly Targaryen or bastard Targaryen or whatever he really is with the Gold Company at his back and the Dornish at his back and possibly trying to marry Daenerys and then have the Dornish, the Golden Company, the Unsullied, 3 dragons, the Dothraki. Man, that would have... Come on. That would have been amazing. And then we still would have had Viserion and Rhaegal still alive. Not this dumbass kill the 3 dragon or kill all 3 of them or both of them and leave Drogon. How old is George? 80?
Old as
70?
77.
He said he's got 100 pages done. 160 pages done.
Is there anybody you want to see in the series? The hell with my Aegon question. Was anybody you want to see cast in this thing?
I would like to see what's her name? Hold on, let me see what her name is. As Princess Rhaenys or Queen Rhaenys. Her name. Anna Taylor-Joy. That's her. I would like to see her as Rhaenys.
Okay.
Who I would like to see as Aegon? I don't know.
Anna Taylor-Joy.
Whoever they get for Virginia.
Could be her brother.
Your audio
Yeah,
changed
somebody
just
could be
now,
her
Mark.
brother.
You sound different than you did earlier.
Ooh.
You should say something so we can hear the difference.
You're
Like say something with more syllables.
Hello.
Say you're longer.
Am I back on?
You sound normal to me.
So I don't know why, but like Brad Pitt's face keeps popping up, keeps showing, but he's gonna be too old.
I was gonna say too old.
Too old.
He's also blackballed.
Maybe
like
Austin
Javier
Butler?
Bardem.
I don't want Austin Butler. They need to be British.
He needs to be British. You can't just act and have a British accent.
I think we keep with the Brits on this one.
Oh well, get your boy Don Cheadle a job.
Nah, they don't act like that with our roles. They be over here playing people from Compton and Louisiana and all kind of shit.
Not Henry Cavill.
He's getting an American actor over there. Yeah, Henry Cavill.
I think Henry Cavill's too big to be Aegon. Aegon is not this. I've been lifting rocks at Dragonstone for the past 12. He's a pampered. He's a prince. He's like Viserys. I wouldn't say he's as skinny and as Viserys, but he's not Henry Cavill size. It's not the way he's described. At least.
Taylor Edgerton.
Taylor Edgerton.
Um,
What's his
the
name
Kingsman
from
guy.
Kingsman?
Kingsman, yeah. I thought Aegon was a warrior. I thought he was a killer.
He is, but
He
he's
hopped
not.
off the back of that
he's
dragon
not-
a few times.
He's not Henry Cavill big.
Eyes. Yeah, I got you.
Henry Cavill big to me is one of the Blackfires.
White, blonde, no aversions to incest.
I don't know. Whoever you
That's a
get
tough
for
one.
Visenya needs to, I think, should be one of those bigger, pretty wrestlers. I'm not saying you get one, like get a wrestler, but get somebody that's like a black
That build.
fired from Disney. What's her name?
Carano.
Fired from Star Wars.
Gina
Yeah,
Carano.
you get a pretty face like that, but that size, that build, because Visenya was more tough. Not butch, but is butch the right word? I don't find Gina Carano butch.
Butch.
Got a pretty face.
It's the jawline. She has a very strong chin. Sydney Sweeney and
No,
Sabrina
Sydney
Carpenter.
Sweeney.
Get him up
No.
out of there. Get him up out of there. Go take a timeout, Johnny. $1 billion film. Get the fuck out.
No, Sydney Sweeney.
Click on.
I
the
do like
chat.
Anna Taylor
Sabrina
Joy.
either.
You know,
Since we're streaming on 3
That's
channels, you should mention.
that's
which-
one of the
so we
best
got
ones.
terrible lag right now. I'll just finish what I'm saying. I was gonna say, if you're gonna read something, click on the chat too, so that the ones who are not watching it on the channel Johnny just commented on can know what we're talking about.
Anna Taylor Joy, she just mentioned it. She said, "I really love dragons and House of Dragon, the Game of Thrones with more dragons." So she didn't say I wanted to be in it, but she said she likes the universe. So I like her as it. I don't know. That's tough. I don't know. Have there been any fan casts for Aegon?
not that I've seen. Because I mean, this has really just got cooking up here over the last couple of months about a potential movie. So
The smaller name actor, the better.
There are some. This dude. Yeah, you know what? Maybe Charlie Hunnam.
where's he from?
Oh, I think he's British.
No, I mean, what like shows? What would I know him from?
Oh, he's got a very familiar face. Let me see what shows he's in. He is in Sons of Anarchy. He's the star of Sons of Anarchy, actually.
Oh, the guy who plays Jax. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes.
Him as
Absolutely.
Aegon. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. They also have some names for Visenya. Catherine Winnick. I could see that.
Catherine Winnick.
I don't know who she is, but she looks like she could have some purple eyes and white hair.
You know who's another one for Aegon? It just popped into my head. Did you watch Netflix's Vikings?
Seen it.
Ever seen the Viking series? Guy who plays Ragnar.
Let me see.
He's also in the Doom Prophecy, not Doom Prophecy, the spinoff show that they have for Doom.
Oh, him.
He was a character in that too.
Travis Fimmel.
There you go.
Yeah, I can
He
see
kind of
that.
looks like the dude who plays Jax. He looks like him a little bit.
Yeah. For Rhaenys, they have Gaia. I don't know who this person is. Oris Baratheon, they have Ryan Hurst.
Ryan
For-
Hurst is Oris Baratheon. Okay.
For Damon Valerian, they have dude Regine. What's his name? Regine Page from
Bridgerton.
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 Keeping them black, keeping the Valerians black, keeping all those folks pissed as fuck. Donnell Lagoon. I don't know who that is.
Donnell Magoo.
Donnell Lagoon. I don't know who that is. But yeah, they've got a whole cast here, a whole cast of who people could be, and I really like that. Aegon one. Yeah.
One day he won't be Bridgerton because he did Dungeons and Dragons. He's got a movie coming out next month. He's just Bridgerton though until something that he does really gets him out of that mold.
Yeah.
He needs a girlfriend. Then we'll be like, oh yeah, that's
Got a
Taylor.
girlfriend.
Who was he dating?
Haley. He's with Hallie.
She
Halle
was sitting next to
Hallie
him on
who?
the Image Awards.
She was sitting next to who?
Hallie who?
Halle
Bailey.
Bailey.
That's not his woman. She got a man. She got a boyfriend.
I'm pretty sure they're dating.
Bro, no, she has a whole dude that she was like
who's
in
her
the media
dude?
with. The
Who's her
locks.
dude?
He's not known. He's a regular person.
Where- I
Y'all
thought
say
they
they in this movie together. They're in this rom-com together. That's probably why they're being seen together a lot. But she got a regular dude.
No.
Look at y'all trying to break up black couples. Happy homes.
You know, Zendaya and Tom Holland are married.
They are. They are. They tied the knot. Tom actually posted about it.
Tom posted? I didn't know he posted.
He posted on his Instagram. He posted the ring with that picture of them, that black and white picture of them where he's behind her. It's not a wedding picture. It's a picture he's posted before, but he posted the ring. Well, the emoji of the ring.
Oh, I see. He did. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Good for them.
So they are. But we all knew that was coming. They're all married. They're married.
Sure,
I like that. I think it's. Oh, I did not see this one. I don't know if these are real though. Is this AI? People have been posting some.
Well, that's a good point. It could be AI, right?
These don't even.
Damn, I can't even tell.
That last one didn't look like it was. People have been posting some weird shit, and they haven't posted anything, so I don't believe any of these pictures. They have not posted one single thing. I think they had a very private ceremony with just friends and family because they are adamant about, hey, we got like 6 movies left in us, and we're raising a family, and y'all are never going to see us again. that's their plan.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how those 6 movies go. We'll see how those 6 movies perform.
Yeah. You don't like that they're married? I'm happy for them. I like them together.
I didn't say nothing about it. That's fine. You know,
you
like
made
it, man.
a face. I think they're very cute. I think they're a very cute couple. I like them together. I like Tom. Tom, you don't like Tom? Tom seems to be very pro, obviously.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
He's pro-black.
That's
you
fine.
don't think Tom is an ally?
Hey, listen, man. Look, I don't have to.
You're making faces. You're making faces that he maybe. I like him. I like Tom. Tom's an ally. He's invited to the cookout.
I don't have no problems with Tom Holland, man. Let him get down with his swirl if that's what's going down, you know.
Yeah, let's do a super chat.
Need a ride, I can range you up. Money, I can change you up. You can have your own, no longer be the passenger.
Culture Made channel. Marcus, when we go into Orange Mound for the tag match, tell Josh he can sit this one out. LOL.
I appreciate it, Culture Made. I don't think we need to take a trip to Orange Mound. I think I'm gonna leave that right where I found it because I'm not gonna get the engagement that I want out of it. So it's okay. Appreciate it though. I appreciate you having my back.
Yup. We got other super chats. Let's jump over.
Last night took a L, but tonight I bounce back. Wake up every morning, by the night I count stacks.
$2. I think it has to be a show. This is 16 hours minimum for this Game of Thrones thing. It says movie.
16 hours
I read the
minimum
article
is
saying
enough.
movie scripts. It could be a trilogy of movies. Cut a couple things out that's not needed, but 16 hours worth you can divide into a 2-hour movie, 2-hour movie, 2-hour movie.
Zendaya is definitely an ally. I'm sorry. I read that out loud.
Zendaya black.
Reading that, and I answered that. Yeah, she like, and not only that. Sorry, I am too fly cam coming back to your super in just a second since we're already on battery. She demanded all black cast for her show on Disney, or she wasn't doing it. I agree with you. I think it should be a show.
Hell no. That show shit out of here. Okay, well, here's what I'll say, because I think it'll be successful either way. I think it'll be more successful on the big screen. But if you don't take Aegon's Conquest to the big screen, they'll never get there. Like, there's not a story bigger than Aegon's Conquest to bring to a international audience on the silver screen. There's nothing big, unless George's new book that everybody keep waiting on, like Rihanna's next album, ends up being the next hottest thing. But that just remains to be seen. Right now, it's Aegon's Conquest or bust in terms of movies.
Yeah, all I want from the franchise is to go into the future. So let's get this Aegon Conquest. Let's get all these other prequel stories out the way in movie format and TV format, whatever. And then that cast of Kit Harington and Sophie Turner and everyone who's still alive from Game of Thrones. Let's get them back and let's reboot. Let's restart. Let's have a brand new story. Original. That's what I want from this place.
I would love that.
16 hours from that.
I would love that. Are you talking about getting them back together if he finishes the books and then doing
anything? It doesn't have to be following the books. I just want to be there with the characters, even if it's not what George R.R. Martin wrote down on a book. You know, I'd hope that he'd have ideas that, this happens 20 years later.
Hard pass for me. I've seen.
Yeah, I don't want them to take their own narrative.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it, and I hate it. So no, if Giorgio,
I don't want to
George R. Martin write it.
I don't want to wait for George R. Martin to do another book, and he's 77. He doesn't have to do a book. He can say, in 15 years after the finale of Game of Thrones, which is probably when this show will start, he can say, this character is going to be here. His path is doing that. You can write that down. It does not take very long. You don't have to write 500-page books for that. George R. R. Martin can guide this next path.
He can. Doesn't mean they're going to listen.
As long as he's involved, I'd be down for it. But
fine. As
I
long
don't
as
want
he's
them to
involved,
completely drive the narrative by themselves.
That's what I want too, baby.
You'd have to put a lot of zeros on those to get some of those people you named back. Because according to Kit Harington, he is not interested.
Bro, Sophie Turner do the same shit. They really get to me, right? Because they act like their reputation, these lavish lives that they live. The only reason why we know what a Kit Harington or a Sophie Turner is Game of Thrones. And they just act like it's the bane of their existence. Like, after we sit up here and watch, I guess industry finishes their series and, Kit Harington throws up another lovey-dovey artsy brick, then they offer you a big huge check to come back and be Jon Snow, and you snatch that bitch up. And I guess we just got to forget all these years that you was shitting on the show about being back on the show or coming back for the show or anything like that. Like, I don't
a lot of their complaints though come from time, how much on location stuff they did. I know they talked about all the. I mean, hey, they spent 8 years in those characters, 8 years on location, 8 years doing all that stuff. So I can see.
You know what, Darius?
I can see.
I hate that I've been working and I had to go to the same spot every damn day too. Sounds like a job. Sounds like
but they're actors.
Employment. Like you're mad that you have a job.
Yeah, but they're actors.
I don't want to hear that. This shit sounds emotional. I can't relate to it. Okay, you have work, and that
No,
work
we
has made you
can't.
exceedingly rich.
We cannot.
Like, I cannot relate to that. Your work has made you exceedingly rich, and it's made you larger than life in some people's eyes, and you have all that owed to Game of Thrones. So like I don't get down with the but it was so tiring. Oh, but the long hours on site overseas, what a drag. I don't want to hear that shit.
But
Suck
the
it up.
shadow of being typecasted and that carrying over, like we just mentioned, Regé Jean Page, he's the Bridgerton guy, or like a Jaleel White as Urkel. Like there is a history of Hollywood putting you in a box and limiting what you can now do in the future. So if they're worried about that, I respect that. But maybe when they're older, they won't care, and because they've have danced around and tried other roles.
When what is going to happen eventually happens and Warner Brothers drops a massive check for them to come back and reprise their roles, it will make everything that they're talking about being tired and done and happy to leave this series to other people sound like it was just bullshit. And so there's no reason to disavow yourself from something that made you so successful in the past. Just no.
That's
there's no
one
reason.
route.
Even if you actually feel that way.
And the big large check is one way to do it. But if you're Daisy Ridley Ray, who greatest role ever, the reason why she's been made is Star Wars, but the last 7-8 years you haven't done anything, then it's not a big check. So for some of these actors who are returning, these returning actors, like Kit Harington might return to something healthy. Sophie Turner might return to something healthy. All the rest, they haven't been saying much.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. You never hear the chick who's Arya's character. What's her name again? Macy.
Last thing
Macy
last thing I heard from her was she was criticizing Marvel. I was thinking, baby,
okay.
aren't you unemployed?
She sure as hell don't be talking shit about Game of Thrones though. She don't.
And plus, there's going to be other characters if they continue it, because so many of the characters, Cersei died. There's a lot of people who are dead in Game of Thrones at the end. So there's going to be so many new characters to
in
fill
their
that.
version.
You can sign some teenagers straight out of acting school. You can sign some experienced actors who just haven't got their big break to for affordable long 8 seasons. So you're really only going to be paying maybe 3. The Tywin Lannister actor, Peter Dinklage, he's still alive, right? He didn't die at the end, did he?
No.
So you can get him, Kit Harington, and Sophie. The rest, Tyrion Lannister. Yeah, so he'll be expensive, but everyone else, I think.
Oh yeah, he will. He's going to command a big check. He's the one true imp. He's the only one who's allowed.
I mean, but you would also have to pay. You'd also have to pay Daenerys.
She died.
Emilia Clarke. I think
Drogon
most people
her.
would like
We
to
don't
see
know
her
that
come
she's
back
dead.
to life if they're going to do
Yeah,
that.
Drogon took her. Drogon took that girl. He screamed at the pretender Aegon.
That John
Blew
the pretender Aegon.
Blew the iron throne to melted it. Picked up his mother and left.
Okay.
So
he has got the regeneration.
John went there to kill her. She sure looked dead.
Yes.
What's his dead may never die.
But if he, there's so many different theories out there. But if he's taking her somewhere,
you gotta take her to a red woman.
Yeah, see, I'd like that. I would like that. And she could be a villain, something like that. Continue the story with the actors we like. Okay. Because I don't care for the ending on the sanctity of the way the Game of Thrones ended. How could they change it? No, change it. It's okay.
No, you need to change that shit. Change that shit. Y'all left Starbucks cups in the set. As evident by what we saw, I think it's safe enough that we can all just move on from season 8 and start anew.
Okay, the cup was from another coffee shop, but I understand your points.
I don't give a shit. I don't care. Starbucks, $2, $1. Shouldn't be there.
Right. Yeah, no, I personally, for me, it's kind of like with Star Wars. For me, it stops where George has stopped. Cersei is not dead. She is not. We don't even know if she's gonna blow up the Red Keep because we don't know. That's not in the books. No, none of that stuff has happened yet. So
the Red Keep.
Not the Red Keep. Sorry. The
Sept of Baelor.
Sept. Yeah, the Sept of Baelor. That
You
has none
guys
of that.
remember everything. Oh my god, I must watch the show differently. I'm way more passive. Yeah, the Sept of Baelor. Yes, that's right.
No, Game of Thrones. I'm so like that's. It is one of my favorite IPs. It really is. I'm so into that shit. Like I know houses. I know whose family is who. The Baratheons being actually Targaryens and all that kind of stuff. Like it's a whole functioning universe that is fascinating as fuck. Just fascinating. And if they could really just keep that steam going, Game of Thrones, I mean, it's already one of the biggest, not one of the biggest TV show ever. And you just keep that going with this universe. The possibilities are endless.
Let's go with the universe. Let's go with the super.
You gon' think about me when I'm gone. I need that money like the ring I never won.
Battery says, look up the new photos for Mando. Looks like shite.
Uh-oh.
It's awful. Yeah, it's awful.
Not very hopeful for poor old Mando, unfortunately.
It never was. It never was hopeful for this movie. There was never any hope for Mando Grogu.
I just hope it does well enough at the box office that we can move on to the stuff I really want to see. Like I did care for the whole Thrawn angle with the you know, everything that they're doing over there. I would hate for a lackluster performance of a film that never should have been greenlit to determine the end of Filoni's thing that he's got going on over there, but we shall see.
That looks all right. I think it's beautiful.
Looks like Star
Like
Wars.
a panta.
The Beatles' first look at the Fab Four Empire. Okay, here. I guess that's not going to show up in the show. I don't think so. Then that's the puppet, huh?
That's the only picture. It was they only shared that picture of them on the
AT-AT. Nothing wrong with that. Why'd you want me to react to a battery? It looks like shite. I don't see the shite.
It does.
Empire Magazine.
Oh, the shite is the movie as a whole. And since that image is going to be in the film, it is shite.
That image.
I will say I will agree with Johnny. I'll agree with Johnny. The Rhoda kind of the picture they shared of Rhoda, it looked all right.
Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Doom,
Did you see what Leslie Headland has been saying lately?
I saw a couple.
I wish she
There's
would
a
shut up
reason.
and go away.
But I didn't know what she said. I just don't click on them anymore. What is it?
I wish she
I
would
can't
shut
hear
up
you.
and go away.
I can't hear either one of you.
No,
No, I didn't hear.
I just said I wish you
I
would shut
can't
up
hear
and go
you.
away.
I don't know if the audience can hear you.
I'll
I can
refresh.
hear Chill and you.
Let's see. Can the audience hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear.
Okay, the audience can hear you guys.
Hi. Hear me now?
I can hear you.
The audience can hear you guys because I just turned it on my. I can't.
Stamina
hear you
says he
guys.
can hear everybody. Maybe
Okay. Well,
Lawrence
let's
says
continue
yes.
with what we were saying. You were just talking about the something about Star Wars. Joe or
Leslie Headland. She's talking. Yeah, she
It's
said,
something on StreamYards because my headphones are working. I can hear other things on my computer.
but you can't hear us.
Close the other tabs.
Can you guys hear each other?
Yes, we can hear each other.
What the fuck? Okay, let me leave and I guess come back. I don't know.
All right. So the parts that I heard was she was trying to use Pablo Hidalgo as a shield for the whole Kahadi Mundi thing. So we see him in the second trilogy. The Sith have been down for 100 years, and he ends up in the show while they're investigating, right? So she's like, basically, I don't really know what he said. I don't remember what he said, but Pablo said it's cool, basically, was the roundabout answer. Pablo said it was cool, so it's cool.
Eliminate Pablo expeditiously. I believe her.
I feel like she using that as an excuse. I don't know if Pablo Hidalgo literally he told, like, that makes sense. First of all, a grade school student could tell you that there's a problem there, right? So like,
see,
as much as I want to defend him,
Pablo, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna be an ally. This is a woman who needs, and she's a lesbian woman too. Can't tell them no, so I can't. You know what you're doing is right, and what you want to do is correct. And that's the type of liberal. That's the thing that irks me. When, like, you'd be helping if you were even more stricter, if you tightened down and you made the show make sure that there was no flaws at all. But you're like, because you're so liberal with it, you want to be inclusive. No, that can work in canon too. You know, like that's how I perceive that.
No,
I don't
man.
know. Pablo
Even
Hidalgo.
lesbians have common sense.
Nope.
even lesbians have common sense. I don't understand why that then constitutes directly contradicting things that you know exist in the universe. No, I don't. Like you said, if he's doing her a favor, he would do it by making sure it's a better project, not by allowing her to fail just for the sake that she's a woman. What the fuck is that?
That's exactly how it went. Can't mansplain my answer to this woman. Yeah, you're right. He's 200 years old now.
Like, what? What else? It was that about Kahadi Mundi.
Yoda.
What did she say about Yoda?
She must have really been bothered by Theory and some of the other complaints, but mostly Theory. I think he's the loudest voice.
Absolutely.
That Yoda knew Yoda was going to help the cover up.
Oh yeah.
Like, don't come at me in the comments because he did it in Clone Wars.
He did it in Clone Wars.
Leslie, your show was just shit.
She didn't know he did it in Clone Wars.
He helped with
the Disciple Diaz episode that where he was like, "Oh, let's keep this to ourselves. Better we keep it secret." And Anakin even was like, "Damn, these Jedi are shady." Like, you can see it in his eyes. If that's the episode she's talking about, if she didn't know Kiadi Mundi's age, she didn't know that episode of Clone Wars. She probably was looking at Star Wars Explained and some of her liberal friends over there. I'm mad at liberals today, but like, she was probably like looking at that and going with these and thinking of these explanations all these years later. It's been a full year without Acolyte. All right, Leslie. What else Leslie hasn't said? Yoda, okay. Kiadi Mundi. Who else?
That was really it, I think. I know she said some more, but I don't remember everything she said.
She just trying to retcon the performance of her show while also hiding behind Pablo Hidalgo.
I hope Filoni does not re-sign Pablo Hidalgo because we don't need you anymore. We got Sam Witwer. Best of luck. But Hidalgo was there during the George Lucas days, so maybe he wouldn't do that to him. Here I am talking about a man losing his job. I know that sounds very wild. So let me rewind it. Let me reel it back. Wild. I don't want to like men to lose their jobs over things.
Over poor performance.
I know what you mean,
man. If I don't serve my customers, I end up getting fired. I think everybody should be part of the same line, right? Like, if you're not good at your job and that job somehow affects me, I don't. You wouldn't blink an eye at me losing mine. So,
sorry to bring it back to comic books, but that's what I'm saying. What comic books? A poor performing comic book should have consequences to it.
Facts.
Okay, Darius the Aquarius. I was about to ask you something, but let's read this. Darius, it's not sustainable. You being so shit at tech in Big 2026. Henry needs to train you once. Nah. What?
Well,
That's not his
I will
fault.
say that
He did nothing wrong. He was fine for the majority of the stream, and something happened. That's not on him.
Hey, Stamina putting them
yeah,
back
unless you've
tonight.
ever
He's
used-
throwing them back.
Unless you've ever used StreamYards, because that wasn't me. I could hear everything else on my computer besides them. I had to leave StreamYards and come back in. Unless you've ever used a lot of tech and things like that, there are technical difficulties, not just with me. There are morning shows that do this daily with budgets that have technical difficulties, because that's just what happens with technology. You will have technical difficulties, and I wouldn't say it's not sustainable.
I think he was
subscribed to
joking.
me 4 years, 5 years.
I think he was joking. Don't kill him, Bloodbath. Don't kill him.
Nah, bro, it's on site. What do you mean? Home slice? What?
Oh Lord, everybody hide the guns. It's gonna be a shootout.
We got to talk about the NAACP Image Awards, and then I want to touch The Boys Season 5's trailer, but it's getting pretty late. We'll skip one of those. Which one do you want to cover more?
NAACP. To skip the NAACP award.
Out of the boys, and you said skip the NAACP awards.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Let me know.
I don't really have anything
That's
to say
my
about the
vote.
NAACP awards outside of people need to get over Dion Cole. That's my only thing.
Okay. Wait, if I play this trailer of The Boys, will they strike us? I feel like they
Let's
do.
just keep talking during it. Let's add some commentary.
I don't
Maybe that'll
want
help.
to. I don't want to keep talking over it, because then we'd be talking and then we'd have to take it out in post.
What do you mean take it out in post?
Just give your reaction to what you guys saw in this trailer. You know me, I'm not the biggest of The Boys fan, but we got to see
I haven't seen the trailer
Homelander,
yet.
and we got to see her. Also, you guys know her, Mother's Milk.
We got to see her.
Her. But
I'm
the
surprised her
trailer
heart
was-
hasn't exploded yet.
The trailer was fine. It looks good.
Did they have
more-
Marie in this trailer yet?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm starting to get worried. I feel like they're going to push her to the background after having, 2 seasons of Gen V? And her being the quote-unquote secret weapon, Project Odessa, blah, 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 blah. So it's going to add up to absolutely nothing. We haven't seen none of them damn kids yet.
Is she in the trailer? I don't remember seeing her in the trailer. Maybe she is though.
is that dog a superpowered dog?
I think it's just a dog.
Oh, you think that's just a dog? If they make like a Crypto or some response to the Superman movie, I wouldn't be surprised.
The Deep.
That's the Deep.
No.
He's basically Aquaman.
Oh, he's alive? Oh, he killed him.
His dad's a trumpet.
Who, the Deep's dad?
No, Quaid's dad.
Oh, he's definitely a trumpet. Dennis Quaid is a huge trumpet.
Yeah. So is by blood, or is his son inherently a trumpet?
Oh, I don't know.
Or is he?
I don't know. Maybe he's smart enough not to say it out loud, even if he is.
That dog would terrorize Crypto from Soups 2025. Maybe.
If he got powers.
What's her powers?
Sister says she's the smartest woman on earth.
Oh, that's nice.
They don't.
She's a
they
hero.
don't. It is nice.
See,
the
you're
sentiment
more-
is nice, but
you-
what they
you're-
do with her is
You're
not.
more connected to the boys than me. Because I don't remember. I only remember like the Sevens names. Not that deep. I like the boys a lot. I like the show a lot, but I don't go exploring outside of it, like to know more.
Gotcha.
But I do like the boys. See, I didn't watch Gen. I think I watched the first
I
episode
didn't
of
read
Gen
the
V.
comic. Oh, you didn't see the series. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily have to, but I think the overarching narrative of that show is going to play a major role in the final season of The Boys, though. For sure. Like, if you thought Victoria Newman was a player in all of this, then, what happens in Gen V makes this kind of important. No, Soldier Boy's awake. That's not good.
Oh, Ramsey plays Soldier Boy? Okay.
Who does?
Homelander are working together.
Didn't he play the bastard Ramsey in Game of Thrones?
No. That's Jared Padalecki. That's that's Jensen Ackles. That's Jensen Ackles from Supernatural.
Look like him.
I'm Dean.
No. Then what
Dean
the fuck
Winchester.
is this?
We need to prepare America for my ascension.
That's too much. That's too much show.
Yeah, there's like a scene of him in the Oval Office.
Oh, Noir.
They have a podcast.
Those who seek to destroy me, the non-believers and backstabbers.
Yeah, that's another thing. What the fuck is going to happen with Ryan? Are they going to have to kill his ass or what?
If he's anything like Dada.
He is acting like
Get rid
Dada
of him.
now. He's definitely acting like Dada now.
I like the way this looks, though.
Yeah.
He looks older, too.
Those kid actors always do.
It happens so fast. Like, I feel like this is not more than maybe like a year difference in filming from last season to this one. He looks so much older.
Who is that? What was that dude's power? Is he like a Black Bolt? Why was he screaming and stuff was vibrating?
Oh.
Like a black canary. Maybe.
Oh, they got Sam in there. Sam. No Supernatural fans on the panel.
Sorry, man.
Sorry, it's all good.
A lot of licking, more yelling, and that's the boys. That's President Trump, and you know what they said at the end of season 4 or the interviews.
Keep going for me.
Huh?
Keep playing it while you're talking.
The interview said that they were going after the Trump supporters. There's a lot of commentary here based off of the supporters of that regime. And that's why he was sitting at the Oval Office over there. More of the same. And everyone's going to still watch it. Because when you're 4 seasons into a show like this, you can't lose your audience. They're all going to be offended. Oh my God, they tried to make the bad guy the president, just like in the real world. I mean, not that the bad guy is a president. I just mean,
They'll complain about it on Fox for the evening, and then it won't be mentioned again. They'll get over it. There's real life shit going on, and if they aren't really concerned with the boys, then okay. But I think they've got bigger messes they need to be worrying about.
Mm-hmm. I don't even care about them right now. I'm looking at the Iranians right now. I'm looking at them painting like Air Force. Did you see the paintings on the ground that looked like they were actually like expensive fighter jets? So they were fired at, but it was just paintings on the ground. So they wasted a lot of weapons.
Now, isn't that crazy that something like that will happen if your early warning systems hadn't been knocked out, or if you had air superiority over Iran? Would stuff like that be happening necessarily? I don't think so. But if you turned on the cable news here in America, it sounds like everything is just going according to plan and going so well.
On both wings. Isn't that crazy? NBC, CNN, they're supporting
Fox News. They're all saying the same shit. Oh, it's going well. They don't even have any missile firers anymore. They don't have a Navy. We've taken out all their planes. But for some reason, this is going to go on for 8 weeks. I don't understand. Like it's crazy. It's a different world. Like, you can watch all the shit that's coming up on Twitter, which there's a lot of misinformation on there as well. But then compared to what they're saying on cable news, it's two completely different worlds. You wouldn't think that they're talking about the same conflict.
Yeah. You know what though? I'm not here for a conflict. I'm here for an incident, and the Dakota incident has hit the comic book shelves, and you can get a second printing. You don't like this cover here? Well, you can get a second cover, and you can't even see it. Oh my God, that's how rare this comic book is. It won't even appear on stream. That's how rare this comic was. The Dakota incident. There's one last video I want to play that I did to bring awareness to the comic book ordering system, and after I play it, I'm going to ask chat to rate it out of 10.
And Static and all the other characters.
But not Carlos. I heard that these comics were all sold out.
Right here at Gotham, we got stacks just for you. Come read.
Hey, Carlos, we see that the DC Universe Dakota incident's still here. You ordered it 4 weeks ago before the FOC. What's an FOC?
FOC means final order cutoff. It's our last chance to increase our orders for the on sale date, which is usually about 4 weeks later. So to get all the copies that we need to get into your hands so you can read it. But this book right here, we knew that sales were going to be very good and it had a good story and great artists. So FOC for what? When we know this is going to be a good seller. And we still have copies for you.
All right. Now explain the pull list. Hold on, before he explains the pull list. He said FOC for what? He said all you shops didn't order enough. Oh my God, we didn't know what the FOC. Bro, I have stacks for us at Gotham Central. Do you guys offer that service where people can subscribe and get a book automatically without it showing up on the shelves?
Of course we do. So on our website, GothamCentralComics.com, you got a pull list and pre-order tab. You can pre-order your books on our site. You can subscribe to the book, or you can send us emails of the books you want. So, for example, this book, you want to collect all the issues of New History, you would subscribe to it. We give you a full box number, and then we would put that book every month in your box.
The book could be sold out all over the shelves, but because you did the work of pre-ordering ahead of time, it'll be in one of those boxes right now?
No, not those boxes. It'd be in these boxes back here. I don't want to show you. Everybody's got a numbered spot and a membership. So if you're like 1,323 and you want this book, it's going to be guaranteed in your box.
A pre-ordered comic never sells out.
Never sells out. It's always guaranteed.
I like
Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman.
I like that message of trying to make the readers or the collectors feel like, oh, the pre-order is a safe thing. It helps me, because when you say do it to support the creator, support the, no one wants to hear that. Nah, when I pre-order it, it's in my pull box and it stays. They don't remove it from the box to go put it on the shelf. Our shelves are empty. You let the consumer know that. I hope that was informative, and keep sharing these, because I'm going to keep doing these, going to these shops and letting people know how to fucking order comic books and stop going, it's Wednesday and the comics sold out, yay! Not good news. Okay, I'm done. Thank you for coming to another Pantheon.
It's been real. Darius, what you got going on next, man?
I think I'm frozen. I'm looking at the screen on.
I see you.
Yeah, you can hear me, but I think
you're good.
You're frozen.
It just froze. It did just freeze. There you go. You back. You back. Good. Keep going.
Never stop.
Okay, cool. I think I will be live this coming week. I'll be live. So be looking for that. And I will try to be having some of these videos edited and cut as well. I finally got back into my editor. I've been locked out. I had to get in touch with Geek Squad and all types of shit. It's on my old computer. Well, it's on this computer, but my original account is on my old computer. So they sent, it's like my, you know how you can save your login information? It's not saved on this computer like I thought it was. So it's asking me to input my password that I don't remember, but it's saved on that computer. So yeah, it's a big deal. But I've got my editor back, so yeah, I'll be back in the groove of things.
For sure. I'll be back on Sunday. You can catch me live right here on Back of the Bus for some dubs and L's, for some behind the cape content. who knows what we'll be talking about, man. The latest production. I might catch a stray from somewhere on the internet. Who knows? It's been very exciting time, so tune in.
I'm very appreciative that you didn't get into that today.
There's no reason to. I see where the narrative is going, and that's not what I wanted to do. There's absolutely no reason for it.
Recast T'Challa, reject the T'Child. I'm Chillmonger. He's Darius. That's Marcus. And he's too raw. And this is Josh.
Hey, I've been watching y'all every single time on Thursday and Friday because I swear to God, y'all switch up every now and then. But rock out. I'm fucking with it. I'm out.
Thank you, Josh.
Appreciate it.
I know.